if you don't want to talk magic, something, I don't know what I'm saying. Achilles is kicking me in the stomach. I was thinking about my cat yawned and it was adorable and no one else saw it because I'm not capturing my camera on OBS right now. Good boy. I was thinking about doing a thing called Gugfest again here on the channel this year because it happened last year and it was a meme and we could meme the meme again. But it turns out we've had another like 5-part combat series within the channel, which I haven't released any of them quite yet. I've just caught up on all the back editing I need to do, but here at the house, the working name for all those files is Enter the Catgirl. And I think I'm going to keep it, because that's basically what's up, what's going on, everybody. It's time for more of that sweet, sweet Final Fantasy Heralds of Dawn. Jason is on a plane right now, so I know! So he can't play no Final Fantasy with us. I know he can, Achilles. Shoosh. But to all of my other patrons, Josh, who is actually, y'all can't see, but I'm leaning. Where? There he is, right there. He's here. I have rehomed my friend. It is sweet. And Tiki and Ross and Spellcraft and Idaho and Joe and Jason in Spirit. Thank you guys for support on Patreon. You all have your hero points, of course, since we're a little on the starting late side, a little on the in the middle of a combat side. So we're just gonna straight in. The floor is yours, y'all.
Okay, I would actually like to request something.
Yes.
I believe, I am not 100% certain, but I believe you can actually look at it. Nigel's perception check.
Sure.
You know?
I have his sheet. Here we go. Character sheet. He adds perception. He adds 12.
He adds 12?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Let me just expand him in case he needs to roll stuff. He can go over here.
Yeah, what was going to happen was while I am making the item to get us out of here, I was going to have him roll the perception check to start salvaging the ship.
Deal. Okay. And so he will. Oh, bam! And he has a 30, he crits. Neat. Okay.
30? All right, 30 would cover gargantuan, but not colossal.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So if you wanted to make that an area of the ship that he could salvage, cool. If not, whatever.
Okay, so he can probably get like, the room where all the busted up machines were, stuff like that.
Okay.
Are we still in initiative? Are we still in initiative?
No, not right now. No.
Okay, I was about to say because I didn't see anything.
So also, you should
hello, Whiffle.
If you have access to edit his sheet, you should probably add 8,000 to his sheet because it is a flat 8,000 gil that he gets for salvaging.
Gotcha. Is there a time stamp at the end of that?
7 hours, so he'll be done before I am.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'll put it on his sheet in the items section. He gets... You said 8,000 gil it was?
Yes, 8 grand.
Got you. Okay. I know where gil goes on this sheet. I know exactly where it goes. No one can prove otherwise. Nope, not at all. Cannot. Where? Anyway, if anybody else has anything to do...
It's at the bottom of the items tab.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. There it is. Boom. 8,000. Bang. Neato. Okay. Anybody else have anything to do while the beasties are scratching at the outside of the ship?
Just making the teleport scroll to get us out of here.
Okay, fair enough.
Greater teleport or greater bend space and time.
Bend space and time.
Is anybody in need of healing? Because Spell and I can't do that if you need it.
I'll be fine. I'm just gonna probably slump against a wall.
Alright.
Well, I half expected you all to leave me to die. I am not used to people actually coming back for me. This is still a new first experience for me.
This whole thing's a new experience for me. I wasn't expecting you, so welcoming.
Speaking of new experiences, Aloran, what was that out there? Aloran?
Sorry about that. Had to mute myself real quick. Remember how I mentioned back when you guys first talked to me and everything that I kind of came from a place and I left because of bad things and they did bad things to me and I kind of don't... have you not noticed my suicidal tendencies?
You need to stop that crap. You're worth more to us alive.
That's a very pragmatic and logical way to look at it. That's true, but unfortunately, that's not how I was trained.
Well, that's all well and good, if not reckless and something to be concerned about. But I meant more specifically the way you were all glowy and
I turned into a beast that seemed to just be emanating dark energy out of me and burning away my own blood.
You and I have-
basically it just seems a little bit like the stories I've heard.
About
The limit break.
look, I'm not going to tell you guys everything right now, okay? I'm going to be honest with you folks. You're friends. You all have definitely passed the test for me to consider you guys friends and whatnot, but there's still some stuff you don't want to talk about, even to your friends, right away. But I will say this much. I have heard the term limit break before as well. I've heard of it. It's been mentioned a couple of times when the people gave me the abilities to do that outside. That outside is not natural. I don't think any of you guys can, like, I think all of you can tell that that was not natural in the slightest term.
It's definitely not something I've seen before, but my people have stories about legendary light warriors that have the
I
ability
am
to
not a light warrior. I
Or-
am,
I look to Lauren. It seems similar to some of the things that I was doing. Different, it affected your body, but seem to be using the same power. It said we came from a bad place. I don't remember much, but for some reason I feel that I might have come from a similarly bad place. After all, I was on this ship, and this ship seems to be connected to those things out there.
Yes.
that's fair. But you also have the advantage of not remembering those things uh, if I am to be correct in understanding you, friend. Also, forgive me for calling you Cat Princess or whatever else I said or called you in the moment. I was kind of rushed. Did you cast a spell on me?
Several, actually. One of those things wasn't a spell. The life bond I created with you temporarily was more of just a talent. Something I
Life
did. It's a healing ability. When I connect my life force with yours and take some of your pain into my. It keeps you alive.
Indeed.
Well, as far as I'm aware of, the whole stories about Limit Break, from what I understand, um, my that's one of the limit breaks I can do. I'm innately, I do have some magical abilities to me. I am a mage naturally. That's where
course.
my red magic, my lightning and the stuff I could do with my sword and the curing magic I can do. That's where that comes from. I am naturally a bit of a mage, but
Of course.
then the other thing happened.
But yes, yes. I'm just saying. My elders told me the story of the light warriors that are able to surpass their own limits and tap into a primal force to change the world. At least that's what I was told.
You might be
And
one of those light warriors, but I don't think I am, and I don't think he is. We both seem so
I would like to
similarly
point.
dark.
I would like to make a point. One does not have to be light to be a warrior of light. It matters what you do, not what you're channeling.
Makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just a monster. I only know these stories from what my elders have told me.
I would by no means call you a monster, friend.
No,
But
well, you should call me one.
I'm a dragon. What else would you call me?
I mean,
I'm
you're
not-
a dragon. That's what I would call you. Dragons aren't necessarily monsters. They kind of indicate that you have a higher level of intelligence.
Some monsters do.
Yes, but then, like, Tikitsuri over here said, it's the actions that develop a person. That's why I call myself a monster. I've
Well,
done some horrible actions in my past.
Yes, I guess there's the philosophical sense, and then there's the societal sense. That
Oh,
society,
societally,
yes.
yeah, no, you're a monster.
Yes, that's what I'm
sorry,
talking about.
friend. I'm sorry. I hate to be rude, but oh yeah, no.
As much of as I would dream to the dragons would be the overlords of all, or my brother would dream.
Okay.
Yes, destroy all.
That's pretty funny coming from a reptile resting on someone's shoulder.
But overall,
I don't actually think dragons are reptiles.
It was an insult either way.
They're thoracids.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't understand half the things that comes out of the healer's mouth.
and yeah,
Well, none of you seem like monsters to me. I don't know your past. To me, those things outside are monsters. You've been nothing but kind to me. I'm thankful for that. You could have rejected.
You're useful to me.
oh, thank you. That's good. I am happy to be useful. In any case, I feel like as a monster, I am here just because that's where fate has brought me. I'm not sure why or how, but I guess that's to be determined.
Well, if there's a town you're from, the sooner we get back there, maybe you'll be able to find out what that fate is.
Hey, you cat.
Yes?
You were casting magic that manipulated time, were you not?
Yes, that's correct. It just came to me instinctively. I don't remember where I got the ability. I just remembered how to use it.
Well, come read over my shoulder. It might help.
All right. She goes.
I'm basically just scribing a scroll. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not mechanically needing the help. I'm just,
Yeah, makes sense.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
yeah. As for what specifically happened out there, occasionally, usually when I'm pushed to the breaking point, I can snap, if you will. It's a conscious choice on my end. That's why I told you to save yourself. It's a little bit of instinct kicking in as well with my personal training. But it's basically the way I was taught to use that ability that was shoved inside of me effectively is just suicidal charging at the enemies because it's nearly impossible for them to kill me when I'm in that form.
all right. Well, we would like to point out something here I would rather like to point out something here. Whilst you may make a good rear guard, and certain more squishier people that we have need to stop running out to try to assist you when you are being rear guard. Keep in mind,
I glance over at Lizard Wizard,
we are a very small, shall we say, SWAT type group. We go in to fix problems, but as I have always been told and tried to ordeal, you can skin, otherwise kill, mangle, or use other people however you wish, but the people within your own party, your own group, you need them, do not sacrifice them, and beyond all else, leave no one behind. So whilst you are being rear guard, keep in mind you must come with.
I'll keep that in mind next time.
And not only that, if we lost, it seems that if this group lost you permanently, they'd be at a major tactical disadvantage. You and like the only people that can hold your own on the front lines. Half is gone, we need the rest of us to be in a lot more danger.
I mean, that's just kind of the flow of time there, friend. More and more people are industrializing their armies and whatnot. Where I come from, I'm a highly specialized unit.
Indeed. I am more situated on the battlefield as survival when it actually comes to combat. The most explosive that I get are those rockets I showed. But
Speaking of explosive, Lizard, what the hell did you do with that one spell that just like and I kind of like made explosion motions with my hand? What the hell type of magic was that? It looked like a basic. I thought it looked like a basic black mage spell I've seen before, but then it just like exploded and went crazy. What the heck was that?
I guess it's what happens when black magic meets luck. And I'm gonna have like that grin on my face where, or like I'm like eating certain something and I know it.
Well, don't
Sorry.
bang your own drum too much.
Oh, that was a
Wow.
good one.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, I guess you and I are both Wizard. Seems to be on your side with your magic, and I feel I'm lucky to find out.
Hey, I'm just trying to get back to the mayor. Y'all speak for yourselves.
You know, I started for a second there, started to feel like we were a team, and then Takisari over here said something about scalping people, and you just want to get back to your lady friend. I'm not going to assume your two's relationship at this moment in time, and that just killed whatever mood we have. So it's good to know I'm in good company.
Hey, there's
Don't
room
worry.
for love on the
Alicia
battlefield.
kind of snickers a little bit at what.
What was that, Lizard?
Don't worry, everyone. I know Ray's.
I'm a
Well-
business person. It doesn't really matter to me what happens to other people as long as it doesn't bother me or mine.
I looked to spellcraft. What other spells do you have that I might be able to learn from here? We have similar magics, even if mine comes from a darker source. They say dark is an inversion of light, am I right?
Out of character, I start listing off the spells I have. In character, I'm just going to paste the list yes,
Yeah.
out of character, I will paste the list to chat.
Yeah. Out of character, I can learn rates. That's why I mentioned
Speaking of learning, there's a few scrolls I should probably pick up when we get back to town.
with those things out there, I don't think your town's going to be.
Well, if Takisari is able to build what she's able to build, and knowing her skills, she's able to build what she says she's able to build, we should be able to get back just fine. It's just a question of how bad the damage will be from those things. It was like how long did it take you guys to get out here from, like, how long did it take you guys to get out here? I say pointing over to, like, Takisari and all of them.
4 or 5 hours. I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't paying attention.
You were the strongest people in that town. That town's probably finished.
I wouldn't say that.
They have a militia.
They have a militia, so at the very least, they probably have firearms, and I would imagine, knowing the type of people that would live in this sort of place, I imagine some of them would hopefully have like explosive weapons or incendiaries or things like that. I mean, Nigel over here's made Molotov cocktails, for Pete's sake. Those are good old-fashioned, just throw them and burn them.
Nigel nods as he continues picking through the pieces of broken machinery, trying to find spare parts of value.
Yeah,
I'm looking for cards in the machinery.
but at the very least, they have numbers and they have firearms. Firearms can hit those things easier than a sword can, although I'm pretty good at it, and I kind of nod over. Dragon Man here is pretty good at it. Yes, I have forgotten your name again, Wiffle. I am terrible with names!
Parallax,
I am so bad at this. Why am I so bad at this? Okay.
like the giant demon space cricket.
I have no idea what you're referring to, but okay.
Green Lantern.
Y'all should probably get some rest.
Yeah, sure. I don't
Did
think we have time for a full.
Did I pick up any triple triad cards in that battle? Oops.
Also, 8 hours is a full rest, and that's
Oh,
how long it's going to take me to make this.
I don't think we're in a safe enough area to full rest out of character. That's Tommy's call, full rest or not.
Unless they get inside.
Yeah. Yeah, Tommy, out of character, Tiki was asking about taking a full rest here.
I've been muted on Discord or on OBS this whole time. My bad.
Right.
So you
Wait,
could
what?
one bloodback card, one warback card for Parallax, and you guys could attempt it. It's safer than sleeping in the forest. There are definitely things trying to cut through the hull. It's a matter of time. Whether or not that amount of time is greater than 8 hours remains to be seen.
I would actually like to ask a question.
Yes.
Am I fully, what do you call it, utilized in what I am currently doing, or am I able to every now and then tap the ship to apply the repair effect?
You probably have to be doing the crafting or doing the repairing.
Okay, so yeah, crafting.
Okay, sounds good. So it basically comes down to chance for you guys if you want to try to rest here. You know that, and between Nigel and Alicia, you can confirm that like a blast door has come down over the windows. There's no outer defenses, but those machine guns on balls are still there, and the hull isn't weak by any stretch of the word, but there's a lot of things out there. Your conversation is punctuated by the sounds of like cannon fire. And these bats scratching on the walls and things like that.
Is there any position we can move into that's a bit further away than right here?
You certainly could, yeah.
Well, I mean, it probably would be advantageous for us to move back a few areas, cover up any windows or anything like that. I know that's kind of disadvantageous for us to see them, but at the same time, those weird guns they seem to be firing seem to be able to go through glass. I look over to Kissery. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes. Also, the materia room that I took that reactor from has doors that do not seem to have windows. At least they did not appear to when I was in there previously.
Mm-hmm.
It might be best for us to move in there then and just hold it as a choke point. I mean,
Is it safe?
I mean, us being in here to begin with probably isn't safe. I say just like standing up, using my rifle to push off the ground. Because, well, for one thing, I mean, we're in a choke point, for Pete's sake. If they manage to get through the door, or heaven forbid they find another way in, they have us cornered. The only advantage we have is that right now, I don't know how many tons of steel is separating us from them.
Yeah.
Or if it is actually steel.
Hopefully it's more than steel.
Really quickly, correct me if I'm wrong, but for Nigel to do the scrapping, he has to spend, he's basically crafting, he spends that amount of time to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it does. It's since you're doing it over a gargantuan area, he could probably move into the materia room too.
Okay, so a gargantuan area is what, 4x4?
I looked at this. Do you still need my help with this?
No, not really.
All right.
I was actually just doing it to what do you call it? Make you feel useful.
Good old Takissery.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted more help with time with time magic, maybe I could. I mean, I remember enough where I could teach you a few tricks. I think.
We'll see. Gargantuan long is typically 64 feet or more.
Okay. So
And
this room
it literally
is,
says or more.
so that room is 75 by 35. So that's probably a gargantuan room.
And I will actually drop into Discord a picture that represents how much.
Okay, fair enough. Well, in any
And
case,
that's actually gargantuan tall instead of gargantuan long, so it's actually a little bit.
a little bit bigger. Okay, let me take a looky-loo here. Okay. That's colossal tall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Colossal, gargantuan. Here we go. Tall. Copy. I apologize for that.
Sound good.
There we go.
Gotcha. So then that's
4, 8, 12, 16, 20 squares across.
so that's a gargantuan creature's reach with a reach weapon. The room he is in is a gargantuan room.
All right. So yeah, he should be able to be fine inside the room. I assume.
That's just where he will be for the next resting period, picking through scraps and things.
Making us money. Money.
Yeah. Believe me, if I was not crafting, I'd be helping because that would cut the time in half.
We
Indeed.
kind of need that teleportation. Like,
Yeah, I know.
now, so don't worry.
I know, Achilles.
Would I be if I actually stayed up and helped Kisari craft the scroll? Would it actually go faster? If I have spellcraft ranks.
Do you have scribe scroll?
Oh no, I don't. Never mind. Forgot about that part.
Okay.
Well, don't you need another feat like collaborative crafting or whatever?
Collaborative crafting
That's-
is just a collaborative craft or cooperative crafting only adds +2 to it. Anybody that has the spells can help me craft them. It will decrease the time, but I still think there is a 8-hour minimum because otherwise I'd be done with this in about 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So on the subject of Takisri has the materia that was powering the computer and the doors and things in her chest cavity right now, right?
It is not in my chest cavity. It is in my hidden cache, which is an extra dimensional space. And my hidden cache, which is a separate object, is in my
the
chest cavity.
Fair enough. Okay, so at the moment, the ship's defenses are like they're engaged, but the turrets, since it's been a while, they are the noses of them droop almost down to the floor. The computer has been off for a little while. This door here, we'll say, is open, so Nigel could get in and do his thing. But the machine guns are unavailable, and doors will be opened by brute force.
I can always put it back. I mean, it's not really that hard to pick back up and shove back in there. So
That is true.
I'll put the power source back in while I'm finishing the scroll.
Okay.
This room over here is the materia room that we were speaking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the one I'm in.
All
Can I
right.
go
then
try and rest in there?
yeah, I think we should move in here. I'm gonna kind of rest in here. But yeah, I think we should probably all move in here and whatnot. This be the area we rest in, and then just make the door over there closed.
Actually, while we're at the two people that actually have the strongest characters need to stand under the door. Someone needs to Nigel needs to trigger the thing to close the door.
Oh,
And then disable the entire apparatus so that they cannot control it from out there and then get inside. That's the reason people need to be holding the door up because it's still going to be trying to close.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, Parallax, what's your strength?
We do have the pitons, and those did seem to work previously.
Well, I was also going to point out the fact that you have a large character with a strength of, I'm going to presume, at least 6. Is that right, Parallax? +6.
+6.
Hey, cool.
Yeah. Nailed it.
And a medium-sized character with a strength of +5 holding it up. So I'm just saying, I don't think we need to roll, but tell me, do we need to roll anything? Because if so, I will be assisting Parallax.
If you guys are braced, you certainly, when the door comes down, it wouldn't be hard for Parallax to grab it. If you all want to rest in there, though, that means Nigel doesn't have the time to salvage this room. And now I've put my PCs where it really counts. Do you want safety?
Yeah, in our money generation.
Up to y'all, safety or money?
Safety. We can always come back for the money source.
You're
Safety.
assuming they don't salvage it themselves because we actually seem to be having constructs.
I say safety.
I'd be happy to
Okay.
guard at the outside,
Or-
the outdoor.
Or at the very least, we could just sit in here and use it as our choke point, and you guys can continue to salvage. I mean, after all, Takisari, you're going to be awake, and that all
Yeah,
night.
I don't.
doesn't
Yeah, I
turn
don't sleep.
Let's put it up to a vote. All in favor of safety, say aye.
Hi.
All in favor of money?
Money.
Aye.
I'm abstaining.
Abstain.
So that's 2-1. Nigel's more than happy to make money.
I was about to say, I think it also fits Nigel to make money.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So Nigel will be in there. Nigel takes both of the turrets, and as he's moving, they kind of like wheelbarrows. You can grab the back end of the gun, where there's a couple of like handholds, almost like like some weird helicopter shooter arcade game you might play. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And like grab the sides of it and push the thing like a little wheelbarrow of death, and he will move both of them on the inside of his door.
I don't.
The power should be back on. I've placed the object back.
And so it is.
So I don't. Sorry if this is too much fast, but what were you doing before you encountered this ship and myself?
Salvaging another ship.
Interesting.
Yeah, but to be fair with that other ship, the tech was notably more of our world. Let's be
Makes
fair.
sense.
This stuff is, I mean, I don't know how advanced my country is compared to y'all's, but mine's pretty good in military tech, and this is more advanced than any prototype I've ever seen. Anything like I kind of look over to Kitsuri and Nigel's direction. You two are far more technologically sound than I am. You guys seen anything like this?
That's a DM call, so I'll make a roll.
Sure. Nigel's not paying attention. He's talking to himself and going through scrap.
Oh,
I don't.
sorry, Spell. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All right, since it's a knowledge check and that's not actually an action, I'll just take 10 on the engineering check, which is a 34.
Sure. Okay. So the stuff you've seen so far, like that other airship, from what you've seen, yeah, it pretty much tracks with the standard level of technology. This is different, but it's not necessarily like out of this world different. Just like things look a little different. Things are written in different languages here. Things that you would expect to do one thing, do another, just out of
Style.
pretty much, yeah.
Mostly just style differences. I could probably make something that does pretty similar to this. Assuming enough money and time.
Never mind then.
Well, those things out there look pretty advanced. But then again, I don't really know much of anything at this point. So,
All right, my last speaking action before just buckling down into the crafting of this scroll is to send a report back to the militia saying we're pinned down at the ship. It'll be 8 hours before we can get back.
Works for me. You get an affirmative reply. And we have Nigel scrapping, we have Tiki crafting, if everybody else would move where they would like to be before we tempt fate.
Just to make sure that I'm clear, to the south is like where we've run in from. Like we've run from south to north.
Right. I will really quickly.
Indeed.
Okay,
I
just
will.
making sure, because once again, last week was very terrible conditions for me to play a TTRPG in.
That's a door. That's a door. And in between those two yellow lines, there's a shimmery blue, almost like an ultraviolet light that is pulsing in that hallway. The big thing didn't like it.
It doesn't like sunlight.
But it's definitely like aside from the rift in the sky, it's plenty sunny out.
Well,
Concentrated UV then.
I'm gonna sleep here. How much HP do we regain from a long rest again?
We're not doing a rest, I thought.
Oh,
We were attempting a long rest while I was crafting.
yeah.
Some of
I
us are
thought it was-
resting.
Takistri and Nigel are going to be taking 8 hours to do their things.
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
still
here- Yeah, here's the thing. None of my stuff requires that I actually take a rest to regen.
okay. Yeah.
At least none of the stuff that I've used.
Yeah.
I think I've used. No, I haven't even used one instance of web, so that one doesn't even count. And my rockets regen over time, no matter what I'm doing. So
And-
I'm
yeah.
getting one. I am getting one rocket back just from the sheer fact that 6 hours has passed.
And
Yeah,
then
I
if-
was-
That is
Yeah.
that
It
is an
wasn't
internal
it was-
process
was
that I
just
don't.
confused 'cause I thought you said Tiki room that Nigel.
No. But yeah, my rockets regen over time without me actually having to put any effort into them.
So yeah, attempt to rest in the hall. Then. I misunderstood. I just thought that we couldn't rest, period, or else Nigel would not be able to salvage rest.
Nigel would not be able to rest if he wanted to salvage.
Yeah, Nigel
Yeah,
and
but-
Takistri have to stay up, basically.
Okay. We can still go in the other room to rest, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. We should move to the other.
I mean, I do want to, like, I
was-
don't see it to be a problem for Nigel to salvage. Does anybody else in the party or the GM think that would be out of character for him?
No, it would not be out of character, I do not believe. Plus, without him actually being here, I'm not putting him into combat situations.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
Yeah.
I can see Nigel both being very pragmatic. That's why he's taken the wheelbarrow MG42s and set them where they're pointing at the door. So if somebody were to come up on him, they'll fire on it. Nigel is smart, but he also knows that this technology is a little over his head. And if him and Takistri can apply it, then you guys might have like the ability to get an edge here.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to be stated for the record that we all actively kind of agreed on that,
Of
since
course.
the player is not here.
We are
And
not
it's
forcing
attention
Nigel
point.
into a horrible situation because he's
I
too good to
mean,
be
you
with us.
never know. You might end up having like problems sleeping. We might make him develop insomnia. Who knows?
Dun dun dun. The worst thing a character could ever develop ever.
If
Insomnia.
he was going to get insomnia, he would have gotten it from the ghosts.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's be honest there.
or his backstory.
Oh God, I thought I was hardcore with killing off family members.
Nah, he got you beat. Okay, so I see the Lizard Wizard and Takistri are in the reactor room, the planar drive room. We have Nigel in the busted up tech room, and we have a bunch of people in the hallway. Is that where
You
we'd like
want-
to be?
Same room. Generator.
Oh, I see you move. You didn't move before. I see you now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we should probably sleep in the generator room. I don't know about you, Parallax, but I think that's still the best place.
Yeah, I'm good.
If Nigel is staying out there, I'm going to stay there to at least guard him and watch his back, taking my watch shift and my rest there.
Okay.
I'll guard
Works
the
for
door.
me. In that case, I will. For 8 hours of rest, right now you would have to not take a watch to get anything back because this is just going to run for 8 hours. So you would get, I assume it's the same as in Pathfinder, your level times your con mod, and I'm not sure how MP is.
I would also like to point out, Spell. No one has to take a watch shift. Y'all can all sleep because I am going to be awake, even though I am doing things. I still get perception checks.
Same
Oh,
for
hey,
Nigel.
good point. Then I'll just rest.
We'll have 2 people up the entire time we're resting.
Yeah, Nigel gets perception checks at a +12, and I'm getting them at I forget exactly what mine is.
So we're
Real
doing
quick.
we're doing character level times Constitution modifier.
I believe that's how it works, yeah. Again,
I thought that
I'm
was
not
like
sure
if
what
you took
MP
them.
is. I have no idea what MP regen looks
I
like.
can look that up
MP?
right now.
Okay.
MP is caster level plus caster mod per spellcasting class.
Oh, per spellcasting class, so I get it twice.
And all right, so yeah, Nigel's is a passive perception if we actually plan on using that of 22, and mine would be 23. Otherwise, we'd have to roll and add 12 and add 13.
Of course. Okay, makes sense.
So I don't know if the DM actually wants to steal a rule from 5e or not.
No, not really. Not especially. Unless we want to get Barbarians con to AC, I think that'd be fun. But that's just me. Let's have Tiki roll percentage dice, we'll say.
Roll what?
Percentage dice from Tiki to determine how bad things get.
I am aware of a third-party archetype for the Pathfinder Barbarian that does get caught into unarmored AC.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called the Berserker. You might want to look at it sometime, Tommy.
That sounds good. Okay, so the 8 hours pass eventually, and everybody hears this because you can't tear apart the metal of a ship quietly. You just can't. There's no way to do it. Eventually, this door does come down, and the bats begin swarming their way through. But when they come into contact with the flashy ultraviolet whatever it is, they kind of just unravel as they run through, whereas the big robot was just screeching in robot and not liking it and eventually backed off. These guys get about a dozen steps before they basically just Thanos snap out into dust. Probably about 40 or 50 of them come through before things start to get wise and the animal instinct kicks in and they don't run in. Warmechs begin firing their lasers. They don't fire at the through the glass. They just begin firing at the door itself. It doesn't super get them anywhere, but they're smart enough to realize they shouldn't walk through that. Other than that, the 8 hours does pass, and you guys are fine.
Awesome. When I actually get done with the scroll, I would yell out to wake everybody else up, since that is, the same amount of time as for rest. Nigel, everyone get in here.
Okay. Nigel carries lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. He looks at the door and he hears the pounding. He's a little worried, but he also has that look of glee in his eye as he's carrying a lot of pretty shinies.
Okay. I'll, just for storage purposes, I'll drop down the cash and let him throw it in there.
Of course.
It's still his stuff, but storage.
Right.
At this time, I would also hold on. When I took out the power supply previously, the lights took a little bit before they went away. Right, the capacitors did not go away instantly,
yeah.
or didn't empty instantly.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So I am going to get both of the turrets, touching them. And then everybody else touching me, and I will enact the scroll.
Okay, understood.
All right, I actually have to see how much I have to make to be able to do the scroll.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since I am a time mage, would I actually be able to just cast this without a UMD checker? Because it's so high level, would a UMD check be needed regardless?
Is it on your spell
You'd
list?
still need it.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Thanks, TP.
He would still need it because it's higher level spell than his.
All
right.
Okay.
All right, makes sense.
Same with me. I actually have to make the check to roll to get it. I'm actually checking to see what the activation is. I don't actually have to decipher it because I made it, but let's see. What is the UMD check? Use magic. It's the same as the spellcraft check, so I have to make a 29.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait, nope. I gotta go look at the skills because that is actually for deciphering.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry, I should have looked this up a minute ago.
It's all good. Magic is fun! So we are trying to take the turrets with us as well, right?
I am attempting to make the take the droids with me, but if they are non-willing constructs, they did not go.
Okay. Yeah, they are objects with the programming, basically.
Yeah, if they're objects, they go. If they are constructs, that choose not to, they do not.
Achilles,
okay, so yeah,
Final Fantasy.
Use a scroll to use this. Oh, it is 20 plus caster plus the level of the scroll, and it's a 27. Excuse me, it's a 7th level spell.
Alrighty.
So, UMD. Actually, haha. I am going to pull out my little clicker that I made of skillful moment. Click it. I take 20 on the UMD check. I have a 34.
Okay.
Or 33.
That works. So then one more time before we get back.
I love that ability. I love that thing.
I have that
thing.
spell too. It's great.
Oh no! You don't get it. I made an object to where I can click it every turn. So as long as I have a full round, as long as I have a round before the round I need to make the skill check, I take 20.
Okay. So could Tiki give me percentage dice then?
This is actually greater teleport, so I don't know if that matters.
Fair enough. I think it does. I think greater teleport lets you get there always on time. Neato! We did it! So I will grab my obs and I will remove this map. Bang! You guys do arrive back at the city. Can I get perception checks?
Yeah, no chance of off target. Yeah, there's literally no chance for me to fail it.
Okay.
Because I am taking myself to our lab.
Neat. Perception checks.
All of us?
Everybody, yeah, please.
Skills.
Skill.
20.
Please see, it's got one.
Perception.
Perception.
19.
Perception.
And I guess I should
16
also...
for Nigel.
Got you.
28.
Okay, so you guys arrive back to Eddard's Dawn. For Alicia, the town is pretty... Oh, how to say... For it obviously seeming like really nice, it's also really new. There are a lot of buildings that have just zero wear and tear on them, as if they had just come up. You guys poured into what is essentially a garage. It is dead quiet when you guys port here, and no one is around.
Not even Adam?
Not even Adam. You guys can look outside, and the rift is still there, but the town appears to be abandoned.
What?
Oh,
Not again.
I had previously stated my plan to take it with us before, so I'm assuming I do have the materia in my hidden cache.
Oh, yes, yeah, totally. Also, when you guys arrive, the machine guns have powered down. In a mechanical sense, they are heavy auto-tech machine guns with the little balls on them are basically mobile turrets because they're a huge weapon. So they you don't have to set up, basically. They can be wheeled along again like a wheelbarrow of death.
Those are artillery firearms.
I will check them for infinite ammo materials because that seems to be a thing in this setting.
And they have it.
Does not have it?
They do.
Okay, cool. All right, well, the militia may need to borrow these.
Okay.
I'm no good with artillery, so I can't use it.
Are these actually artillery? I thought they were...
If it's a heavy auto tech, then yeah, it's artillery.
They're her big guns.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an artillery classed firearm, not a advanced or a simple.
All right. I'll have myself and Nigel be wheeling them out. And I would try to get a message out to the militia leader. We are back in the garage. Where are you?
No one replies. The connection feels dead. You go to, reach out with your mind, and it's as if you run into a wall.
Okay. I would use my own telepathy to reach out for any minds around me.
The party. But that's it. I know, Achilles. Where'd they go? He's very talkative tonight.
All right. I would relay information to the party. Okay, so either they've been taken or they're dead. Let's go find out.
Either that or they could have abandoned the island. Don't discount that possibility.
And you saying a dead lizard wizard is going to put his head in his hands and just shake his head.
I certainly hope not.
I did not say she is dead. I said they're either away or dead. Therefore, you should think that she is away, lizard.
He's going to reply that's still a 50-50 probability.
Well,
there may be extenuating circumstances that cause different percentages.
Well, if they're dead, we're about to find out. bodies don't just disappear.
And if they're
They-
alive, why can't we contact them with our little connection thing?
Well, if they were taken and brought to the other side of that rift, we might not be, our communications might not be able to reach through there.
Or the sphere may have been left in a place that could not be recharged.
Didn't you just recharge it?
Not
Yes,
that
but
sphere.
who's... No, I'm speaking of the telepathy sphere that we all touched when we came here.
Right. You charged it with your own battery.
Look, I think we can all agree on one thing, though. This place is stupidly quiet for the situation at hand. So
Mhm.
we probably be best for us to be quiet and get through this area stealthily.
Speaking of that, I looked at Tiki. Do you have a safe place you could stow my body?
What?
Put your
It's a trick. I remember a trick. It's a trick I remember. He said he
All right.
wants to move stealthily. I can make myself something else. I can
All right.
turn myself.
When you leave your body, is your body still living or is it dead?
And it's only I can cancel it anytime I want. You said you want to move stealthily, correct?
Yes, I asked a question though. Is it dead or alive once you've left it?
Oh, it's still alive. It's just knocked out.
Then we
Then
can
no,
put in that extra dimensional space, I presume.
No, the lid will not fully close and lock unless there's no living things inside of it. Bodies I can keep in there all day, but living things, no.
I see.
Hmm.
And before you ask, no, I have never stored bodies in it before.
I mean, I wasn't going to ask because I didn't want the answer to it anyway, but, you know what they say, don't ask questions you don't want answers for.
Well, the only reason I have thought of that particular reasoning is, present company aside, some less than savory dragons may have wandered by and provided me with materials.
Interesting.
All right, then. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I actually have some stealthy abilities. I know my armor doesn't kind of indicate it, but I'm unfortunately so used to this stuff. I tap the mithril armor that I can basically move in it as though it's second skin.
Well, I
It
can't
doesn't
be
matter
stealthy at
yourself.
all unless I stealthy at all. I'm a cat. I know that's an oxymoron, but
I mean, if you wish
not
to
very
do,
physical.
if you wish to do that, I mean, Nigel, you are the stealthiest out of all of us I've seen, aside from Takitsuri. But Takitsuri, you just flat up kind of disappear. Whereas Nigel, I know, is from talent. Perhaps you two can be our forward guard. You know, do the forward and rear guard again idea. Perhaps Parallax, you could take our little friend here. God, why can I never get names? And keep her with you. Perhaps it'd be best if you were just to fly up. Well, no, there are those bat creatures, so it's not advantageous for you to take to the skies.
Yes, but as you have previously said, I disappear, also can fly, and if they are using something such as echolocation, there still is a range increment.
And your weird psychic magic stuff allows us to talk to one another, even with the town's orb being down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You probably would be best as an aerial spy, then, I'd say.
All right, well, Nigel will help make sure you do not do things too overtly obvious, seeing as he is most versed in the actual physical art of hiding.
I'm actually quite well trained in the art of hiding myself as well.
Well, I am going outside, stealth field and force field up, heading outside and going to fly up to look around.
Okay, sounds good. So you pop all your things, you go to fly up, and well and truly, it seems as if the town has been just flat abandoned. Vehicles sit in the road. sometimes flat in the middle of the road, completely unattended, as if they had just like skidded to a stop in place. Some doors are hanging open as if like the whole town was doing a thing and then something happened and everybody just snapped disappeared. As you fly up, the rift in the sky is still there, but you don't see any hostile anything. As if they were never there either. I guess the best phrase I could use would be to say you guys seem to have teleported into the proverbial eye of the storm.
This isn't good.
Uh, relaying the information.
I look to the rest of the group. Do you think whatever those things are have something to do with it?
No, I'm certain they just went on a nice holiday and left
No.
us.
No, I mean, do you think I'm being a danger?
If you were a danger, if you were a danger, then I'd be a danger. I'm pretty certain most of us in this group would kind of be considered a danger in some way, shape, or form. But in the fact that you yourself, your presence here, I think it's more so the thing in the sky, and you just happen to fall through with them. Unless you know, well, you don't, because I'm amnesia.
Trying, but I can't. So frustrating.
Don't hurt yourself over it. Seriously, that's not a good idea. Soul, forgive me, but you're no good. Are you good at healing emotional damage?
I can try, but counseling the grieving and the heartsick was not my main area of focus.
Yeah, then all right.
Anything you could do with magic, I could probably kind offer. I don't think all the white magic in the world can help my situation.
Magic doesn't heal the emotions. Only time does that.
Oh, I am a dumb person. Takisari, why don't you just carry our friend's body? Because then, if it's in your hands, would it be slightly invisible because it's on your person?
That would be a DM call. Mine is a stealth field. I do not know if it's specifically my body or the 5-foot square that's around me.
It'd be your body specifically. So you could carry Alicia while she's concentrating / unconscious, but she'd be visible. She'd just appear as a floating Mithra girl.
I mean, you could just hold her on her stomach and fly kind of backwards, like with your back to the ground. That could cover her.
I mean, no matter what,
in all honesty, she could go into the extra mental storage. I just can't close the lid.
Hmm.
And even then, out of character, it's not that huge a stealth bonus. It's just +4 and whatever additional dex I get from being a shadow. So even then, my stealth is still going to be kind of terrible, just not as terrible as it would be if I was doing it myself.
Okay. And Nigel assisting your stealth checks gives you a +2. So it's not really that much of an issue.
Yeah. But I mean, right now, all I have is a +2, because I only have a +2 dex and 0 ranks. So as a shadow, I would get a +4 if I don't have any ranks. So.
Mm-hmm.
Because, actually, no, it'd be a 6, because shadow gives me +4 to stealth. I'd have +2 dex, and I believe I don't get any additional dex from being a shadow, but I might. So, yeah.
Okay, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but you're the spellcaster. You are not required to be stealthy.
Very well.
I'm basically going to try to do run reconnaissance while flying, basically the entire town if I can, or as far as I can get within a 15-minute round trip recon.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got Takisri in the air. We've got... what else?
Lauren on foot.
Okay.
And I imagine Nigel on foot as well.
Yeah.
I'm with them also on foot.
Okay.
Oh, you're stealthy.
Yes, I can be stealthy when I need to be.
I can't at all, so I'm not even gonna try. I guess.
I actually have total cover, so I mean, unless they have trimmer sense, I auto succeed my stealth checks.
Okay, so Alicia is staying at the garage. Soul Parallax.
Someone should probably stay to guard me, I would assume. Or is he?
I'm also staying at the garage.
Oh, okay.
Parallax would like to check the perimeter of the city, fly around with his brother.
Okay. So then, I suppose if you are not staying in cover, if you could give me those sweet, sweet stealth checks.
My stealth check would actually just be for remaining silent. I auto succeed my visual stealth checks.
Hey, Tommy, I got a BRB really quick. Keep going on without me. I'll be long.
For reference, I'm popping a point of my arcane pool to use my Ruby Arcana Arcane Cloak, adding my Charisma modifier to my stealth, and also, if it's necessary, giving myself it also says that I could make stealth if something were to come up. It says I can disappear into a crowd. It's basically the Magus cloak ability.
Sure.
Hey.
Not bad.
If I had some more shadows, dude, I could probably do a little better.
Indeed. So as you guys fly around the city, fly around the perimeter of it, everything is abandoned. The door to Flapjacks is wide open. There is food laying out. There are drinks laying out, but there are no people. Same's true with everybody's apartment. You guys run back to Brienne's. Both Brienne and Jareth are gone. It's a complete ghost town.
The port?
Nothing there.
No ships?
No ships. Just a really long pier extending off the island into the sky.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to go use the restroom real quick.
It's all good?
Yep.
Did you say hello? It's been a while since I've seen it. How's it doing?
I'd like.
Bad jokes. No more toilet humor for you, Mac.
All right. So what did I
I'd
miss?
like to make a knowledge arcana check, see if I can tell if there's a spell cast to cause everybody to disappear. Like something like a teleport or an illusion spell.
Azazel?
Out of character. Out of character, well, Tom. Out of character, how long does it take to actually learn a spell from another spellcaster? So I was asking, guys, out of character, how long does it take to learn a spell from another spellcaster? Because if you guys are going to be doing reconnaissance for a while, and Soul and I are in the same room, I figured that if it doesn't take...
It's the same as scribing a scroll.
Right now it's been
not scribing a scroll, but copying a scroll into your spellbook.
Right, and right now it's been 15 minutes. So
okay, yeah.
Well, we don't actually have spell books.
But it's the same
we
rules.
Determine how much MP we healed overnight.
Caster level plus caster modifier.
But per spellcasting class, so you would get that twice because you're also a cleric.
I think he said HP, did he not?
No,
I said MP.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sorry.
Wait, no, you're not. Yeah, you only have one spellcasting class, right?
Yes.
Right, he's just no blue mage. Okay, so 18.
I also, yeah.
Knowledge Arcana 18 to determine if a spell was cast. It stands to reason. It's also really weird to be playing a game online with one of the players sitting directly behind me because I want to talk to him, but I'm talking at my microphone, so this is an odd sensation. Anyway, it stands to reason. Something probably happened magically to get the entire population of Eddard's Dawn no longer here. What remains to be seen? It could be something as complex as a bunch of foldings of space and times, or something as simple as, if an area was a rope trick. That sort of thing. However, The fact that these things are swarming all over the forest, yet you can't see them here, leads you to believe that there's probably more to the story.
Okay. Whilst I am at the port, I'm going to take a search for the sphere that we had previously used, see if it was left behind, because I was thinking it might be something that needed to be attended for people to use it, and if it's just laying about, we may be able to utilize it.
The sphere is nowhere to be found.
Okay. Then after my recon, I would return to shop.
I'm staying in I'm probably actually around I was gonna say Mike, I would have run to the outskirts of town.
Around where Parallax is flying, yeah, you guys go run up around the wall, and the cannons are still there. All the defenses are still in place, but there's no one there to man them.
Do I see the things? How far away does it look? Can I roll? Can I roll a perception check to see if I can see any of the creatures, and more specifically, if I do see them, how far away they are?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I also am going to need a DM call.
Okay.
My archetype gives me telepathy, but it does not give me a range increment on the telepathy. Would you like to state one?
As per the spell, if a spell exists in FFD20 with your level equaling caster level. Okay, so Lauren gets to the top of the wall and does a look out onto the horizon. It's not super far between where the walls have come up and where the tree line starts. They'd clear cut an area to build a city, but that's about it. You don't see anything moving out in the tree line. You do see the rift in the sky. It appears to be where it was before, but that's it.
So even the rift is gone?
The rift is there.
Oh, okay.
Is it safe for us to assume that the Emma spell's still active, Tikisari? Or Tiki, or
What spell?
the telepathy?
I'm still trying to figure out what the range is.
Okay, then I will continue to err on the side of caution that it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'd like Lizard Wizard would like to make a knowledge planes check, and the reason is because I'm seeing the rift. I'm seeing that my Arcana check made me feel that there could have been some transportation involved to another plane, and I just want to see if I can rule that out.
Okay, makes sense. Okay. So definitely when the rift opened, that is a horrendous malfunction of a mechanical object that would make gates. A gate has been opened over top of the island and something has caused it to go foul. It stands to reason that extraplanar travel that's definitely a really fast, let's get everybody out right now kind of thing. But the fact that you should definitely still be able to see, go up on the walls, fly up, you should be able to see hordes of monsters outside is kind of suspicious. What that means is really hard to say, but it's a definite red flag.
Wonder if the mayor had any contingency plans for emergencies that she would have written down in her office. I think I would like to go research in her records. I can.
Lizard Wizard's going to hear that and is going to affirm and say, yeah, that is a very good idea. You would think if something like this is happening, somebody's writing something or leaving some kind of clue as to this is what's happening. Here's what we're about to do, just in case someone comes back and sees empty town and needs a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of character. Tiki did send the message to the militia, so and they did respond back. Was what he said, correct?
They didn't respond at all. They couldn't. You couldn't.
No, I
contact-
meant before. I meant the first message before Tiki
Oh.
started crafting the scroll. Tiki said send a message back saying that we're pinned down and it was going to be 8 hours. And I believe Tommy said that the militia did respond back at that point.
That is
Is
correct.
that correct?
They confirmed, yes.
Yeah, so that means they knew that we weren't going to be there for 8 hours. So if this was a contingency plan on their part, then they probably would have left some instructions for us to be able to get to them unless they really didn't care about you guys.
Okay, telepathy is 100 feet.
Roger that.
So, but
I'd like to.
But if they were not contingency, they were taken against their will, then they would. So
I'd like to take the casters and go off to the mayor's office. See if we can find
All-
anything.
Casters,
all
you
of
cool
us.
with that?
All right, I'm cool with it.
Very cool
one-
with that.
Spell, you cool with that?
And all the research heavy people, the readers,
Yes.
Yeah.
the
The
nerds.
based. Oh, you nerds! Come on, we're going to City Hall.
No, read
I find it funny that I am the nerdiest nerd, and yet I am excluded.
Ha! Okay, yeah. So you guys head there. I guess as you're heading there, I should have said this before, but I forgot about it for Alicia's sake. Standing out in the middle of town in such a way that like its shadow is cast basically all throughout the city, there is an enormous Statue of Liberty-esque statue of a man sitting on a, like, I won't say marble throne because it's clearly made of something much nicer, but that's the idea. Almost like take Lincoln out of the Lincoln Memorial, give him a longer beard and a staff, sitting
I
in
know
the
what
center.
you're
town.
talking. I know what you're talking about out of character because of the other streams, but Alicia has no idea. She looks up and kind of quizzically at it, but there's a task at hand, so she focuses, snaps back into focus, kind of before asking anything.
Mom spaghetti. Okay, fair enough. So you guys make your way. The mayor's office is right there. You guys actually aren't super far from it. There's no one there. The doors are not open, but the doors are unlocked, and you can make your way on up through there. And if you could, I guess, when you get to the mayor's office, I guess everybody just give me a perception check is what we'll do.
I am not rolling above a 10 yet today, folks.
Feels bad.
Hey! There's the cleric pulling through once again.
So that, everybody, there's a lot of people who cast. I don't know if casters included Aloran or, like, Takisri certainly has brain power.
I mean, I would join up, I guess, so I'll also roll.
Well, if I was included, fine, but I did not think I was because they only said spellcaster, not crafter.
Or I guess whoever wants to go.
Would Parallax be there? Because he's a mage?
Yes, he's the one who took you.
Oh, good, yeah.
The salt elemental will remain in her workshop.
ADHD at work, folks.
That's
Gotta
fair.
work.
Okay, so you guys go looking around. The mayor's office is pretty Spartan, at best. There are several places. Nice.
Had
Like-
to one-up me. Had to one-up me.
Haha, that's what Tiki's been doing ever since you two became patrons, basically. Anyway. Oh, that was
Jeez, that's a better description of our friendship than it should be.
kind of. So there's everything is there that you would expect to be. There is the desk, there is the chair, there are filing cabinets. As you guys begin opening up things, and nothing is locked, and going through files and stuff, the two things that stick out is, like, first and foremost, a lot of the information here is redundant. It seems to either, like, track back into itself, like records of people who have come in, which then lead into another folder of literally same, like 5 or 6 times over, or in some cases, some folders there's just, like, paper that would have come from a typewriter that is just flat blank. There are no contingency plans for should Eddard's Dawn come under attack by XYZ do ABC. Basically, the 29, 31, 33, 34, 36. What you guys can determine is it seems that Eddard's Dawn is mostly tracking the population, but only in terms of who comes in. After that point, They seem to not care.
Huh.
Alicia looks to the rest of you. Was there any type of security force here? I mean, if the mayor wasn't in charge of the contingency plan, maybe the security force was.
The militia, yes, but I have never actually been to their headquarters.
Nigel would know where the barracks is. Nigel has, he reported in the early game.
Okay.
Linguistics check for code breaking? Yeah, that seems good. Anybody else? I don't know who has what int powers.
Nope.
And there's that 1 up, ×2.
Well, I'm just being given skills that I actually have taken.
No, it's completely fair.
So you guys can both determine that all these documents, the only purpose that these things seem to function is who has entered the island. All of your names appear as well. Alicia's does not. But everybody else is, clear and present. As for why it's redundant and odd, it's really hard to say because it doesn't make any sense. There should be more stuff here. If nothing else, there should be a docket of the mayor's, her itinerary, as it were. There should be something like that here. It's not here. All that's here is these are the people who are here right now, and then there's please see this folder, and then you go over here, and here's the people who are here right now. I guess also Luna and Jared are on the list, as well as all the chocobos. And Terralix.
In that case, I am actually going to look around. This is actually getting us nowhere. I personally believe that if, I believe they might have been taken. So I am going to go find a troop transport and take it back to the shop. And whilst I'm at the shop, I'm going to turn it into an animated object and give it the ability to fly at its movement speed. And, well, y'all can decide what we do with it afterwards, but we may have to fly it through that big hole in the sky and go find our people.
Love how you jump between sort of British to sort of Southern.
Well, pip pip tally ho and all that.
Lizard Wizard is going to make a sense motive check because right now he's kind of racking his brain as to what purpose would they do this? Would somebody just record who's coming into the town and not care about how they leave and whether they leave and anything after their arrival? He's going to rack his brain over this and do a sense motive.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Gotta get that fish and chips and Jack Daniels. Man, that's my new thing. Okay, make it so.
Daniels.
Okay, so why they would do that? It's like half a census, I guess, is the best way to describe that. They aren't tracking who's going; they're tracking who's coming. They're not tracking who has work. They're not tracking occupation. They're not tracking, in a mechanical sense. There's not, Lizard Wizard is listed as Lizard Wizard, as Runtling, as his name, but there is not followed, even so much as magic user or anything more mechanical than that. Why is... I kind of just point straight to the obvious, I suppose. They only care about who is here. That is it. That is all.
Lizard Wizard is going to kind of look at that and he's going to say, to me, the reason that they would only care about who's coming in is because it sounds like they just care about counting numbers. And that makes me really suspicious.
I mean, I'm suspicious.
They're answering to someone else who's got a quota or something, that type of thing.
So out of character, it looks a lot like the mayor might not have been the supreme leader.
I knew I should have used a fake name.
The assumption that this has ritual preparation written all over it is you guys are kind of functioning on guesswork right now, but it's a fair guess. It's not completely outlandish to think that you might track that this is here because you want to do some kind of ritualistic something or other. With that in mind, you think you would track some other kind of like variable, some kind of racial lines or like certain bloodlines, blase, blase, blase. But there's nothing like that. Not even mention of the fact that like Parallax is a dragon.
Wait, so there's not even any indication about people who have died?
There's just like, there is a name, and then it's like, return, name, down, 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 down.
This is concerning indeed.
If Nigel had told me where the barracks and militia area was, if I searched that particular area for a troop transport, would I find one?
The best you find probably, and yeah, you know where it is. The best you'd find is, I'm brain farting I did a lot of research on like World War II tech before starting this game, so I'd have the proper terms, but I'm brain farting. The best you would find is like one of those really big trucks with like a canvas Oregon Trail top. That kind of thing over the bed. There's nothing bigger than that. There's no like tanks or planes or anything like that.
Is that large or huge?
It's... I'll call it huge as I desperately look out my window to find a truck. Yeah, huge seems fine. Okay. Certainly all of the medium characters could fit in the bed. Even, like, take a couple people, put them up front, Parallax could probably squeeze in. And with a religion check from Sol Golden Sol for raw life force, they seem to be tracking, maybe not necessarily raw life force, but the presence of life, the presence of individual, the presence of, like, this is a thing that is here.
Okay, one more question.
Yes.
It says I have the ability to upgrade pre-existing animated objects for like specific cost. Could I actually do that to add a construct point to Nigel's Jeep?
I'm not super... I mean, that's a pre-existing animated construct. I want to say so, unless there's something that says you can't do it with an engineer's automaton.
No, a construct point is equal to a hit die, and a hit die I can add to it.
Okay, fair enough. Again, as long as there's no language in the construct that says you cannot do this to a construct, like you can't awaken an animal companion, that kind of thing, then it seems fine.
All right.
I just don't know if it's there or not.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just letting you know my intentions ahead of time because I'm trying to make sure that we have transport. Because I actually personally think that we're going to have to go through that hole. But anyway, my current plan is to take one of the trucks, return it to the shop, turn it into a animated object, which gives it construct points. I spend the construct points to give it flight, and then I would take time to edit Nigel's Jeep to also give it flight.
Okay. I guess as we're talking about vehicles, it is worth noting that I did give Aloran a motorcycle.
Then I would also be adding flight to his motorcycle. Well, actually, I would be turning that into an awakened object, or not awakened, but a animated object in which it would get CP to begin with, and therefore have flight.
I got you, Ross. Okay.
So that is my current intentions. My character is busy modifying stuff.
Of course. Okay, so do the Brandy Boys want to do anything else in the mayor's office?
No.
And all of those checks are going to just be straight up with the skilled moments ability added on. So
the clicker of cannot fail
3 times.
I think we found everything we can at the mayor's office. While he's going over to the militia, I think we should go over and check for clues there.
Okay. One thing else I will give you guys as you go through the mayor's office, City Hall it's not the most enormous building in town, to say nothing of the statue of clearly the man Eddard outside. It's definitely not the biggest building, but it is sizable. There are a couple of stories and several hallways. The only room that has anything in it is the mayor's office. There are several other, like, it's been a while since I've been in a city hall, but like holder of records and my Parks and Rec foo is weak. Where Ron Swanson's place would be the third floor. Everything is the third floor. It's all empty and creepy. Also, I'm really bad at how city halls work, apparently. As far as you guys know from like the legends, that the mayor had actually told you, no, he's not alive. He had come here to do a thing, and then like there's this big reverent he left, which would seem to interpret the fact that like he had died. No one says like he went back to this place, more like he passed. And I hear Parallax wants to go to the militia's office. How about the rest of you nerds?
I have a question. I'll probably go with it. But first, can I attempt an Arcana to see if there was some magical thing at play? If the magic that was at play here also might have removed all the records, or if the lack of records was something inherent to the town before whatever happened here.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
All right.
As far as, and all of Soul's stuff is coming through in chat, so I'll just read it. What else do we know about the people on his
I got a 30 on that.
expedition? You don't know anything. 30 knowledge Arcana. It's possible, but very unlikely. Because you would have to have some weird cast 2 spells at once kind of thing, if not 3 or 4 or 5, to get everybody off the island / wipe all the records / blah, 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 blah. Certainly somebody could have done it ahead of time, and there could have been a billion spells cast. But, like, why?
Yeah.
Well, as tempted as Lizard Wizard would be, considering his history of libraries, to just stay in the mayor's office and pour through every single record, he's going to instead follow the group to the military area.
Okay. So at some point, I'm assuming you will go, unless somebody quickly chimes in and is like, nah, I want to do this. At some point, you guys pass Tikisri, who's driving a World War II truck with canvas over top of the bed back towards her workshop, and you guys are able to make it. It's a similar story. There's not even like a separate fenced off area where going on base would be. There is no checkpoint, nothing like that. You guys just come upon what is a empty field, more or less. And perception checks, please.
Also, do I need to make a check to be able to swipe enough clothing pins from the clothes shop, like literally like brooches or things, from the buff to give one to every member?
Clothing pins? I don't understand.
Well, you know how sometimes you'll receive a pin like I voted or I gave blood that you put on your clothes?
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would be swiping some of those from the clothing shop.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely more than enough.
So you know, the reason why is because when I animate all these objects, I'm going to key them so that they only take orders from people who are wearing the pins.
You have to have the official guild membership card. Got it. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So got a perception from Crafter, Day Spell, Parallax. You guys all roll in. There's very clearly just a little squat administrative building, and it is more of the same. There's what you would expect. It's very Spartan. There is a desk, there is a chair, there is a typewriter, there is all of this kind of stuff, and the barracks exist as well. But as far as like going through records and things, you find, well, these are a little more detailed as opposed to like who or what you are. Like as you go flipping through, I'm gonna make a real power play here and assume AL alphabetically is the first name on the top of all of these lists, Aloran Verdun, and then like space swordsman, space, I don't want to say gish, but for lack of a better word, swordsman, space, some magic, space, some firearm training, and then going down you could find like Parallax, space, dragon, so on and so forth. all of the group's skills are summarized pretty effectively, as well as the what you assume must be the Vieira at Flapjacks. There's a Kavaya space Archer space Stealth, and then like so on and so forth. This list is considerably shorter. There are not a whole heck of a lot of names other than you guys.
So probably a list of people that they should keep watch on.
It's like you guys plus the mayor plus the captain of the militia plus Flapjack and Kavaya plus Brienne, and that is Adam as well. Adam has wrist cannons. He's a thing.
It's a security thing. So basically keeping track of who might be an issue.
Person of interests.
More or less, yeah.
Who's powerful enough to actually put up a fight.
I have a question. Could I attempt a knowledge nobility to see if any of this adds up to these people answering to some higher up that's not, you know what I mean? If there's like a higher up person they're answering to, would that be nobility?
Yeah. I suppose nobility kind of fits there. There is no knowledge bureaucracy that I am aware of. So yeah, nobility can work. I feel like being a generous Tommy. I'm gonna roll a D100. Detect magic was popped. Bang! Boom. Okay, so you pop detect magic and it does register a little bit. So there's a little drawer in the center of the desk. You should be able to stop line of effect, but it's open just a little bit, and that's enough for you to ping a slight magical aura coming from in there. Spellcraft. It is clearly, and especially as you guys go over and look, you open the door and there's a very finely made handgun. Mechanically speaking, it is a I'm gonna grab Nigel's sheet.
16 on my nobility check, by the way.
Gotcha. Combat, what you got? It's a +1 Machina pistol. It's sitting inside the desk. It has the Materia infinite ammo.
Can't be a Machia pistol. That's part of his class feature.
Oh, boo. So it's not that. It's whatever kind of pistol he has made, basically. It is that. I'm not looking at the table of weapons right now. I'll grab that really quickly as I go to do a flavor text here. Go back down to Flavor Town. So your knowledge local, your knowledge history. Whether this information is made to track up is really difficult to tell. It certainly could. The thing is, you guys, Alicia aside, have seen that there's not anybody leaving. And when Brienne and Lauren talked, they would know that Brienne was denied access off the island. No one's leaving the island, so that seems to include these guys. And a ship coming in, regardless of if you're on the other side of town, short of it happening when you weren't there, makes a lot of noise. You would see it, you would hear it. So if this information is being tracked to anybody, it's being tracked to somebody on the island, and so far all you have is those monkeys. With sense motive checks, you can clearly determine it's not the spider monkeys. I should have let that one ride and just let you guys chase after that for 3 hours.
Little town is,
I'm going to fail that check. It's all the monkeys.
Ah, got you.
What if that little town is experiencing similar loss of people? The one out in the middle of the boonies?
It's possible. It's hard to... I mean, you assume. It wasn't super far from where you guys ended up.
Right, but we didn't get a chance to look. It
Right.
should be something to look into. Okay, I may have a theory, but I was wondering if anyone else cared to share a theory that they might have.
Well, there's a statue of a big guy out there. I was thinking that I don't know much about this place, but I was thinking that the information is so sparse. Maybe there is a hidden sort of puppet master behind this town. Maybe he wasn't so hidden and was hidden in plain sight.
Makes sense. So really quickly, I went and checked the tables. There, in fact, is a Machina pistol at 2d6 plus 2, blah, blah, blah. And I realized Jason's strength score is not enough to get around the kick. I'm not sure if he knows what that means. If somebody could help him later.
That's the thing.
His is
is a Machina pistol.
Excuse me. Jason's is not supposed to be a Machina pistol. It's supposed to be a Mako.
Yeah, it's a Mako weapon. Yeah.
So what he has in his sheet
Like a
is
sharp-
doing that much. You guys have a +1 Machina pistol.
I mean, I kind of like. I imagine as we see it, I just walk over.
Oh, his Mako's probably his sword. Anyway.
Yeah. I just walk over, see the pistol, pause, kind of step back. That thing looks pretty. Somebody had some good craftsmanship with this, and I'm gonna pick it up, look it over, spin it around a bit in my hand.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely feels really good in your hand. The image of it's kind of stretched out because it needs to fit along the barrel of the pistol, but it makes sense because these things explode. The image of what you clearly know is a bomb, the like floaty fire monsters that will explode, runs along the length of the pistol as if like it was exploding and somehow parts of its body were being pushed forward in that explosion, like its face is flying down the barrel of the gun.
And I presume there's a place in the grip for a materia slot.
Yes, and it's, in a mechanical sense, I guess I'll say the infinite ammo materia just kind of sits everywhere. There is definitely a materia slot in there. It is presently unfilled.
Okay, and so I presume since this is a +1, that infinite ammo materia would count as a level 1 materia common.
More or less, yeah. It doesn't
Well, if
affect
it's- if
anything.
it's
It's
not
just
a
it's just a
level
meta
1,
thing, basically. It is there so we don't have to track ammo in a 7-man party.
I got plenty of ammo myself. But yeah, I say that because playing in games with people that actually make these rules has been kind of interesting to figuring out how materia works.
That's fair. Yeah, that would definitely be a thing. Literal fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Do any of you know about that statue guy out there?
No.
Just researched a little bit about Eddard created this place, this haven, and he passed some time ago.
I'm
Are
very
you sure?
heavily
Are you
focused
sure?
on
Are you sure he passed, or was that the cover story? Like I said, I'm new here. I don't know everything, but it looks to me like there could have been a good chance that this mayor of yours and this militia of yours were answering to a higher power.
It's
And-
definitely possible.
And considering there's a big statue of this editor character out there, and you say people think he died, there's a good chance that he might have be or that higher power, or at least be connected.
With
That's a long shot there, but I'm not going to completely roll that out because anything is possible.
anything's possible. As Saul goes rolling, it's hard to say because you guys don't have any you don't have any reference. No one had heard of this Eddard figure before coming to the island. So it may be what Alicia's saying is accurate. Maybe it's just complete hokum. Without knowing any more, it's impossible to tell.
If I may present a dissenting theory, that big hole in the sky is going to the plane of shadow, you said?
Right.
What do we know about the properties of the plane of shadow?
That sounds to me like I need to make a knowledge planes check.
Yup.
So,
Damn, whoever built this gun crafted it well. Planes, shadow, sorry.
well, I can at least aid with that check.
Yeah, I actually have that skill too.
Holy, is that an infinite ammo material? I thought those things were still being researched. Holy hell. This is awesome. Hey guys, can I keep this?
I'm gonna make a check too.
I mean, I'll give it back to the captain if he wants it back.
25 on my planes check.
But can I use it for now?
And now it is the crafter of spells who one-ups everyone. Okay, so 26, 78, 29, 30, 31. Fun fact, I was going to wait to say this until I did Idaho's aid another optimization video, but whenever I ask you guys to roll perception checks, you're all aiding another, whoever rolls the highest, to help our friends do better. I assume you edgelords are helping anyway. So we have 26, 28, 30, 32. The Plane of Shadow, you guys basically know all of it. Soul leads the charge on this one because there are some shadowy creatures that are undead, and that's your jam. The busting of shadows, the busting of ghosts, better call you, as you've said so many times to us. It's not necessarily like antithetical to life. Basically, it's an imprint over top of it. There is a overlapping reality, has a proverbial shadow that is cast into another plane, where there would be reflections of the places you've been. Like there would be a shadow rabbit caster, for example. Not just as real, but not as brightly lit. Yeah, pretty much. That's what you know. A shadow rabbit caster, a shadow paradise, you assume, a shadow everything. When it's created, it's also created there. It doesn't necessarily go both ways, though. Creatures do live on the plane of shadow, and they can create things there, and that doesn't make a material copy.
For every BMO, there is a football.
Yeah, pretty much. You could
So I would like to make, like, whether it might be a wisdom check or something similar. Hearing that, Lizard Wizard is going to think that perhaps we're in the plane of shadow right now, and we're in the shadow version of Eddard's Dawn, and that's why there's nobody here.
We're in the upside down.
Yeah. No, not the shadow plane is basically the upside down.
My theory was they are in the upside down. The shadow plane.
I'll need you guys to re-roll new 12-year-old characters with no powers, because we're playing Stranger Things, actually. Okay.
There's actually a system for that. Kids on bikes.
Why am I not surprised? Fair enough. You kids and your cult followings. So you would definitely know, with all the big planes rolls, you guys are definitely not in the plane of shadow, because the plane of shadow it's a grayscale. There is no light there. If you were to walk into the plane of shadow and stand on top of a tree, just like a solo tree in a field, and then cast torchlight, the light would go. It'd be the brightest thing on the plane, because the whole area lacks any kind of light, which is very definitive. You are not on the plane of shadow.
But I feel like if that was like the center of the storm, they might have all been suddenly spirited away, the entire town at once, to the plane of shadow.
It could stand to reason. Definitely had to be something powerful.
Astronomical events. Yeah.
Can I attempt? Actually, not. Already.
The party would actually have known my thoughts on it, because I did say that I believe that they probably got taken through the hole, so that's what I was going to make vehicles for.
That moment when you go through your character sheet and realize that you weren't actually adding your +1s to your weapons.
Well done.
Are we completely positive that this ship, the power source, created the rift, or is it possible that this was a different event that set the ship off course and through the hole, and it just happened to be there at the time?
You guys are working on a pretty strong hunch, I guess I would say. The materia you found is definitely capable of planar travel. The fact that things went wrong, it could be a function of the materia, it could be a function of an X factor of which you are not aware of, and about a billion things in between.
For the record, I have picked up the bomb pistol, and I just kind of put in another holster on myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I put it in my quick draw holster.
It just seemed to me like the materia that was running the ship was functioning under normal parameters. If it actually went through some kind of catastrophic failure that caused this much devastation, there would have been some at least residual damage around it.
That could be backed up with like a engineering or technology for sure.
Engineering, I'm not. Well, I'm as good as anything else, but I don't know technology, so
It dawns on
attempt-
it's
Tikisri.
just in theory.
It dawns on Tikisri. Oh yes, that must be what happened. But the 14's good enough. Yeah, if the thing had malfunctioned, more things would have malfunctioned. You assumed. It's in perfect working condition as it is. It taken out of the proverbial warp drive. It seemed to function. All the doors opened. It remotely powered a couple of heavy autotech machine guns and various other things in between. So that's definitely a good step towards ruling that something else happened, and it wasn't entirely that the materia just failed.
Fortunately, the only thing that helps is eliminating our only lead as to what happened. I don't know. Racking my brain here. Why are we?
Can I attempt an Arcana? See if the materia wasn't malfunctioned, if it could be messed with on a magical level without that. Basically, like if someone on the ship with malicious intent could use magic on the materia to make this happen. Essentially, my Arcana check would be for.
Yeah.
So if memory to you messed up things.
If memory things, it stands to reason. It could have been as simple as... I guess the thing about that is you're only looking... The bit of ship you have is enormous. You're only looking at a piece of it. Where the... Like, to drive the ship and, like, navigation and the advanced math that obviously would go into using something that makes a gate but then plotting through the gate, like, that could certainly have been altered. Again, without some kind of proof, though. It's, I won't say hearsay, it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
All right, I let the rest of the group know that. Yeah, I can't say for certain, but it's possible that someone might, on the inside of the ship, maybe with malicious intent, maybe just by negligence, might have messed up what they were trying to do. They could have.
I just believe there would have been more evidence there that would have indicated that that was the center of the event.
Well, I don't think that would be the center. If the materia were altered in that way, it would have been from the section of the ship we didn't explore, the one where the pilots flew the thing.
The way it crashed, though, it just seemed like it was a matter of wandering off the road and crashing due to lack of pilot.
I didn't say it was malicious intent. I said malicious intent or negligence. There's a possibility that could have just been an idiot at the wheel.
Well, the only thing we know is one person that was riding it previously, and that was Pinky over here.
You mean me?
Yes. Okay, I don't know who's talking. Sorry.
There are a lot of us.
Yeah.
There were several bodies on the ship, but the bodies had been, again, high school science room skeletonized.
What happened on the ship before it went off course? And
we don't know. I'm the only one who was there, and I don't remember.
Yeah, even the process of trying to put those memories back together is painful for Alicia.
I see.
Not painful emotionally, like migraine headache that kind of causes all train of thought to crash.
Anyone looking out the window would see Takesri flying around behind Nigel's Jeep with a web line attached to it, trying to get to it. Come here, you little thing! I've got to install this.
I think checking out that little city in the center of the map would be a good course of action next. So we can put that on the list. Is there anything here in town that anybody thinks we should check out to look for clues? Because the more information we have to put this mystery together, the better.
Well, my idea was kind of outlandish before. I mean, if there is some higher up connected to that statue. Maybe that statue has a compartment or something. I know it sounds stupid. Forgive me.
No, that's definitely worth checking out. I know it's a long shot, but weird statues tend to have weird compartments and secret levers that lead it to underground caches and wells. Catacombs with an evil lich overlord that rules this city.
Hashtag Solgoldso.
And hey, there's a cave down there. I can finally find a home. All right, let's go check
But
out.
we
this.
built the city on rock and roll.
As long, well, yeah, it said Lincoln wasn't there, so.
Okay, so we head over to the statue is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Okay.
Playing.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic, see if there's any Lambert or vision doors.
Okay. So the statue is enormous. It is taller than the walls. Walking over to it, the casting of Detect Magic would ping, like, barely his foot. The foot does not ping his magic.
Well, this could take a while.
As
So,
Parallax goes...
I looked the spell. I looked at Parallax. Between the three of us, how much ground do you think we could cover?
I can get the top, see if there's any knobs in the noses.
I guess I can sweep the sides. I like the spell.
That sounds good.
All right.
I'll see
You
if
mean-
I can find anything more mundane too. I'm not the best, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I'm not the best at that either. But try. So we're all gonna detect magic it and perception it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my
So-
perception 27. Finally, I rolled over
Oh, hi there.
on a perception check.
So you guys go searching around, and the people on the ground can definitely tell, like, this statue was made meticulously. If not for the fact that it was, oh my, big spell. Hello, big spell, Detect Magic is cast. If not for the fact that this is very clearly a statue, it could pass for, like, a mega giant. The details on the man on the statue wears no shoes. His feet are, like, down to the hair. Meticulous. There is no real means of going up. There's no, like, ladders. You could try to Shadow of Colossus him, I suppose. But it would be a
Parallax
huge
is
jump.
flying.
Right, I'm getting there, bub. So, as we continue to go farther along, Parallax flies along the rest of it, and it's more of the same. His clothes, they look like you could take them off, and if you were a giant people, you could wear them. But of course, it's one piece of just solid, I almost say construct, but it's not a construct. One piece of solid statue. As Parallax gets to the top, like past the beard, past his kind of like a hawkish nose, into these eyes that seem to stare out in the direction of the mountains, just like cutting across what you've seen of the basically peninsula you're on. You notice that does Parallax have Detect Magic?
Yes.
Okay, so his right eye pings his magic, and after 3 rounds of concentration, it's pretty easy to determine the right eye is an illusion. It's just like a wall, basically.
Just stick my head in there, look around.
Okay, you give me a perception check. So, you're not sure how, you're not sure why. When your head goes through, it's as if you'd stuck your head into an entirely different place. You go from a place in eternal winter to I guess the best way to describe it is imagine like a Greek oracle kind of setting. There are pillars, there are columns, they form a circular shape in an idyllic midsummer's eve kind of temperature and setting where the light is sitting. In between those pillars, there are wall to wall to wall to wall surrounding a circular, like the temple structure itself, bookshelves. All of the bookshelves are completely empty. And there are 5, arranged in a star pattern, 5 circular runes, I guess is the best way to say this, set in the floor. It's probably a really awkward feeling to have like wings to tail cold and head and neck perfectly comfortable.
Is there any way I can identify these runes? Arcana or
Yeah, you could roll an Arcana check. So they seem to represent, like, though they don't tell time, almost like a clock. Like, or I guess rather, the runes represent 5 different stages of something. They are written in a language you've never seen before and don't recognize. They just kind of sit there on the floor as almost as if you would see like the cycle of sun up to sundown written on the wall, except they're in a star pattern. It starts out with, I guess kind of like a rosy colored, and then it goes to, from that rosy color, almost like the light of dawn, to the noonday sun yellow to going towards night in what is a morning to day, noon, evening, night sort of arrangement.
And so this is a very large, like, chamber area, like a building
It's
within this.
completely open air.
Oh, completely open air.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond the library space, what do I see?
Like rolling hills and sky, basically. And I guess I should say, Alicia, Lizard Wizard, Soul all see that Parallax has jammed his head into the statue and is just kind of hovering.
Do I smell any dragons within 7 miles?
You do not. The only scent is just like pleasant flowers and I won't say the smell of cut grass, but like the smell of summer, more or less.
Okay. I will go down and relay this message. Well, I guess your suspicions were correct. There's definitely something going on with the statue. In the eye, beheld a, I can only describe it as another place, possibly another plane. In any case, it's very nice. Actually, I think it might be safe to go investigate, but we should all go together. Yeah, I can help everyone up.
Yeah, that'd be helpful as well. Thank you.
So I see that Spellcraft says we have rope. It would take, I haven't measured this statue, but it's a lot of rope that I'm not sure we have to get from eye to ground level.
I can get them 2 at a time.
Yeah,
Take trips.
Parallax can take trips.
Okay, so then that puts basically everyone who's not Tikisri. Actually, no. This statue is pretty close to the workshop, so Tikisri would, if there's any kind of look up, Tikisri would see this happening as well.
We'll send them a telepathic message that we're going to possibly someplace. We're not sure if it will cut off her telepathy.
If you're changing planes, it will.
Okay. Just be aware that we might be there a little while.
Okay, well, if I don't see you in 24 hours, I'll come after you.
Very well. All right. Let's head on in.
So if you're not Tikisri or Parallax, roll perception.
For once, I beat the cleric in perception with my great 10 wisdom. That's hilarious.
Dice, man, they're fickle mistresses.
When the cleric rolls a 2.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, if Lauren would like to roll a dice. Okay. So I guess once you guys like fully set foot and look around, and I try to get out of the habit of describing pictures with other pictures, but I can't help it this time. It's more like imagine I don't know how far back our Magic playing foo goes, but like Josh bought us a Modern Horizons box and it's laid out here to the left of my table, and we pulled real good. But imagine, if you will, like Temple of Plenty, right? It's just a big open air Greek style temple. There are many knowledge checks that will resolve in a second. You guys all see everything that I described. You can walk around freely. There's wall to wall to wall, and like betwixt the columns to fully like close it off, except for one walkway bookshelves, which are all empty. I see many knowledge checks. I'm not sure what Soul is rolling for.
I'm also making.
Yes, you may also roll knowledge checks.
I'm rolling. The first one is going to be a knowledge plane. The second, see if I can recognize obviously there's another plane, but what kind of plane it would be, and what statue.
See if
That
anything
would be
will.
the Arcana check. Arcana check it as well.
Okay. So you guys do a roll in up. It's very clear to Parallax. It's also pretty clear to Alicia that you guys have stepped into a demi-plane. It's not a very big one. You imagine if you were to run off into the rolling hills and sky of Midsummer's Eve, eventually you just pop out on the other side and you have like a treadmill effect.
Oberon.
Yeah, not quite like that Temple of Plenty, more like the one that came out in Theros, not that really pretty altar. Where did that even? Hello, very pretty.
Would it be like that white enchantment? I forget the one.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Pillar.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Beautiful. You demand. That is perfect to what I'm thinking about. You modern players. So, with the Arcana, with the religion is definitely some kind of temple structure, or at least it was. The Arcana looks more like I don't want to say a wizard's lab, but like a mage's private sanctum. Not to say something super mechanical, but that. Somewhere you would go to have like all of your spell books and things you would want to read in a very peaceful environment so as to not be disturbed.
Well, I believe this was probably Eddard's lab, but Eddard seems lost. And it looks like when he left, he took all of his spell books with him. Ellie checked out the books at the empty shelf disappointedly. Such a waste.
Any lingering magic in the area?
Yeah, for sure. Basically, all of the schools would ping faintly. This is a very powerful place. So powerful. Well, rather, the place is not powerful so much as powerful shenanigans have gone down here so many and so numerously that there like always will be a stain. Stain is kind of a rough word, given that it's something obviously a little more pretty than stain, but it's a similar effect.
Well, at least with a place like this, Eddard doesn't seem like but you never know. He could have just had a calm, serene sense of style. Still have been an evil mastermind. I'm gonna attempt an Arcana check on this to see if I recognize if there's for any type of ritual or anything.
Okay.
And I critted that.
Yes, ritual is the word we're looking for. The runes displayed in the star pattern, which clearly seem to represent rather like a dawn to night sort of like run. It doesn't feel like a malicious ritual, but ritual indeed it is. How it goes off, how to what it does, things of that nature. It's really difficult to tell. But that seems to be, this seems to be the nexus of where these things would occur.
I'll let the party know. Whatever, I can't quite tell what kind of ritual was being done there. There was definitely some sort of ritual being done. Whether it was Eddard or a descendant of his, or even the mayor, if she was a secret mage.
She's not a secret mage. She's definitely she's a black mage. We've met the mayor.
Does anyone happen to have like detect law or detect evil or something like that?
If anyone would have that, I think it'd be sold. I tell the party it doesn't seem like it was malicious when I.
If Eddard could have created this demi-plane, could he have possibly created all of Eddard's Dawn as a demi-plane?
Well, it wouldn't be a demi-plane if it was visible from the rest of the world. He could have created Eddard's Dawn itself. It's very possible this could have been raised out of the earth by.
Is Eddard's Dawn on the material plane or is it a demi-plane? Because I don't know how I got here.
Were you? Well, the others out of character. The others came here on a ship. So if it was a demi-plane out of character, the ship would. There would have been a clear transition if the ship was capable of plane travel. It would have been a gate that was made by the ship.
I see, because I am
Yeah,
I was
this is out of character.
I was carried here by some colossal dragon god thing.
Yeah.
Soul
the
also
others
came here on
boarded
Dragon
ships
Bag.
from the surface world. So.
The questions that you guys are answering are behind knowledge checks, I would say.
Yeah.
Here,
Well, that was out of character. I was not saying that in character.
I have +1 plus the same thing. This is all my knowledge checks right here. Because I have +12 to all of them.
That
So whatever
Arcana was a
relevant-
misclick.
Whatever relevant
Okay.
knowledge. It's
So
But I probably should sit down and study, sorry.
fair enough. So it stands to reason that if you can, man, you quit that spellcraft. Woo! As another 1 in 8,000 here on Final Fantasy D20. Jeez. Come on, you guys are beating the odds. It stands to reason that if you can create one demiplane, you can create another. However, obviously, if the whole city below you, or in a different plane and also below you, was a demiplane, that's a lot more investment, a lot more time. This is, for what it is, it's pretty small.
Mhm.
But definitely, like, it's in the realm of possibility that could be it.
All right. I think I should start searching for any hidden caches or anything.
Okay, perception is a thing.
mm-hmm.
Okay. That seems to be... Oh... Let me really quickly... I need to open a book because I need to see a source before I hand out an illegal item because we're only using so much stuff from Paizo. I want to make sure I know where this comes from, so I'm going to do a check and I'm going to talk like this to fill up the void. Here we go. I'm talking. Here we go. Saul goes a-looking, and he might find this. He might find a few of them. The item is going to function kind of wonky, assuming it was printed in... let me check the other one. I want to say this was printed in the core rulebook. I could be wrong, but Soul definitely does find some stuff like... Yeah, secret cache is a good way to describe it. The bookshelves are pretty big, and the shelves themselves are pretty deep. Pushing down into one, you do find, like, it trapdoors down into... Not another demiplane, but there's probably, like... You can fit your whole hand and a little bit of your wrist down in there before you contact the bottom bit. And inside... And we're gonna have to, like... brew this around if it's core. I don't improvise, you improvise. Stop improvising, you. Where's my source? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where were you printed? I have to assume a Pearl of Power was printed in the core rulebook. I'm like 90% on that as I go scrolling on the SRD. So yeah, sure. If I'm wrong, I've made a boo-boo. But there is a... They're about the size of, like, Soul's palm. Glowy, iridescent, sometimes, like, brilliant crystal colors, and sometimes, like, brilliant, as they get passed around amongst the casters. In the Lizard Wizard's hand, it turns black. In Aloran's hand, it's red. In Parallax's hand, it's blue. In Alicia's hand, it's the colors of time! And in Soul's hand... Yeah, there you go. It just snows out. And in Soul's hand, it's a brilliant white before, like, flashing into neutral. I want to say it's Pearl of Power, highest level spell you can cast. But we have to make that more mechanical in an MP system. Basically, an extra reserve of mana equal to highest level spell you can cast. I want to say that's the equivalent of a... Haha! This is the core rulebook! We win! Pearl of Power, like, third for most of you.
So it's an extra MP materia.
Yeah, pretty much.
If it's materia, that becomes a very big deal because you can only have like 3 materia attuned, and it needs to be attuned to an item for us to use it.
Looks like materia is not materia. Is Pearl of Power. Don't know how Pearl of Power works in this system. But I have a lot of casters, so there you go. Bump.
The Pearl of Power would just be the regular Pearl of Power from core rulebook.
Yeah, except we use an MP system, not a slot system.
Yes, but every slot is 1 MP. So it would just be additional MP. If you would like to give something that's on flavor, I might suggest the Golden Amulet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will look at that. Here we go to that SRD, a golden amulet.
There's also other equipment type items called Golden. Most of them give plus additional MP.
Yeah, neato. Oh my, some of those give you 50 MP. So basically, it's a slotless item that gives you bonus MP equal to the highest spell you can guess right now. And as the casters pick them up, also you find, like, as you go to pass them around, like a Lorenz remains like a blood crimson, and as you pass it over to, say, like Lizard Wizard, it kind of just goes dead and inert, and the same would happen if his Black Pearl goes over. So you can't all hand them to a caster for value as well.
All right, so these are basically keyed to the people?
More or less.
Okay, would they function as like Ion Stones? Because normally, if you're making a slotless item, it's either an Ion Stone or you keep it in your pocket.
It would be a keep it in your pocket kind of thing. Again, just like a Pearl of Power.
Just needed to make sure.
Stone of Luck.
Or that. One of my favorite items to hand out to people, but they're just so expensive.
Does anybody know what these things are? I'm just tossing the pearl around. Forgive me, my technical understanding of magic is not that high.
Yeah, you understand what they are. And I guess also they do a little more transformity things in Ural's hands. In Elloren's hands, it looks more like a ruby. In Parallax's hands, it looks like a sapphire and onyx, but no animate deads here. For Lizard Wizard, a diamond, but no raised dead here. For Soul and the Stone of Time for Alicia, that I don't know what is.
It looks like an ocarina.
It's literally just the time stone, one of the time stones from Sonic CD. There you go.
Sonic CD.
Time is normally represented yellow.
Okay, sure, that works. So then, just like what is a yellow gem? I can't think of a yellow gem. Like a
citrine.
Thank you very much. One of those. But there's nothing else that really pops up. This seems to have been just like an extra reserve.
Okay. Well, this was this helpful?
Well, we know that there's something going on here. We just don't know what.
It's got history, yeah. Give you that.
If it's large enough, this is also a safe place we can hide up from the mech and stuff in.
True. I like that point. What do you propose will be our next course of action? Because I am for going to check out the small village. When we get our transport finished, of course.
If everyone was taken to the other side of the portal, then we might want to check that. Well, that's probably very dangerous, so it'd be best we be prepared and investigate everything we can here before we go through that thing, because there's a chance that we might not come back.
Right. No, I wasn't suggesting going through the rift yet. I was still, because there's so much of this of Eddar's Dawn to explore and find out exactly what happened before we just jump into the mouth of the whale.
Yeah, for all we know, the shadow creature might not be the enemy of this Eddar. Whoever was in charge of this enemy.
Right.
Or maybe or if not the enemy, I would say the source of whatever's going on. There was some type of, don't know what, but even though it didn't seem malicious, it didn't seem dark, there's still a chance that they could have been used to ferry everyone out here in case of an emergency. And if the mayor was answering to whatever wizard was using this place, then there's a good chance that this and not the mayor, this person had the information for the contingency.
Did
Although-
anybody get any of that?
I got bits and pieces.
Sorry.
Same here.
I'm really trying to listen. It does.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I
So-
know it's not your fault. It's just that it's your mic, and it's the better choice between the super loud and just popping in and out. But that information I think was important. So
Sorry. I'll say it again. Basically, what she said was that whoever it's good to investigate Eddar's Dawn because whoever was in charge of this area, whether it was Eddard himself or some other mage, was probably the one who conducted a contingency plan if there was one. Basically, she was insinuating that if everyone was teleported out of here as an escape from the enemy and not by the enemy, like Tiki seems to think, then it stands to reason that whoever is the owner of this demi-plane was the one who did the teleport. Is basically what she was saying.
yes, it seems our options are: this was a benevolent escape from danger. Option 2, this was a malevolent extraction of an entire people's for some purpose that is malicious. Or option C, this is a complete coincidence and just an astronomical event that we just happened to miss because we were out of town. But it's the
Well,
purpose
let me
beyond
ask you
our
a question.
comprehension.
If it was an escape plan, why wouldn't you guys have been taken? I know I would have been left behind because I'm not part of this town. But you guys were all in the town registries, so if they were trying to evacuate every citizen, it stands to reason that they would want to evacuate you too.
We weren't in town, though.
Well, if it was a powerful spell, it could have reached across the entire island. I guess the only way we'll find out is if we go to that other city, like you said.
Yeah,
If there's people there,
Yeah,
then-
that's exactly why I want to go over there and check.
Another thought,
but here's a possibility. There's a possibility we go there and it's just as empty as here, in which case we
Just
know
throwing
it's
this out
probably
there out of character, but
What?
the wall could actually function as a circle of teleportation. Who knows?
another possibility to think is that this thing happened while we were out of town, and perhaps the fact that we were out of town was on purpose, like that we weren't in the town for this event on purpose.
that could be as well.
I mean, we weren't directed to do so. That was our own choice to be out of town. Well, except for me. But
Well, I
I
think
won't
the
hold
best
against
course of action is to go investigate that other city. There's no people there that we know you were left behind for a reason.
yeah. Let's go
I'm
check
for
out
that.
the one. I'd
yeah,
like
I'm
to check
for
out
that going to the other city.
checking out the outer wall.
I
'Cause
mean,
we're-
from what I found earlier, and I ran all, I didn't see anything. But once again, I'm not good when it comes to this whole ritual and spellcasting. This is spellcasting beyond my abilities.
All right. So if the plan is for us to get to the other city, does that mean we are currently time skipping, or what?
We're gonna wait for Tiki to be done with
Yeah.
our transport.
Okay.
So time skipping.
we can time skip.
Yeah, 24 hours is how long it's going to take me to modify all the vehicles.
Okay. So then, does everybody who's not Tikisri go back down to the workshop, or do you guys stay here?
What do you think?
Might be safer here.
Well,
And-
we don't know if this is a malicious demi. If the person behind this place had ill intent for the town.
yeah.
And pocket dimensions sometimes have limited duration.
Yeah, that's true as well.
This one doesn't seem to. I mean, I guess we can tell by the nature of the spell, the arcana, that how long this is in effect.
Yeah, that's fair. There were very high rolls. It's a permanent fixture.
With our roles, could we also tell that if we did spend the night here, if anything would if there was a malicious trap or anything, would we have to make another roll for that?
Hard to
Up
say.
here.
It would depend on probably mostly whether or not something's in here. If there was some kind of like magical maliciousness that would have happened to y'all, it would have happened already. As like Soul is feeling around for stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
With our knowledge of the planes, we should be able to determine what the temporal properties of the plane are. If it moves faster or slower than normal time, if it's like the hyperbolic time chamber from DVC, or if it is aligned a certain way, like if it's an evil plane or a lawful plane, strongly or weakly, and how magic and how malleable the plane is.
That's fair. Okay, so not malleable, magic in the sense of the things that have happened here. No alignment at all. As far as time goes, like you guys go looking around, the sun is in the same place in the sky as it was when you came here. This is probably some kind of hyperbolic time chamber kind of effect.
Okay.
You imagine, you all have been here for what feels to you guys like looking around and braining and things, probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours. You imagine no time has passed in Eddard's Dawn.
Ah, okay.
Is somebody going to give me that information?
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here and give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. How big is that eye?
Per big.
I can fit through it, so I'm large.
Okay, in that case, I am going to string up all the vehicles with web, fly up there, set up a pulley, and pull all the vehicles inside.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Can do. Might take a minute, but
I'm taking my construction inside there. If this is a hyperbolic time chamber, I am going to abuse it for the next 2 days.
You should have seen this coming, Tom. Should have seen this coming.
This is a good thing.
This is a good thing.
Because that gives me three more crafting slots. With negligible impact on the people that are missing.
Okay. So Takisri hauls up all the things. Nigel follows along.
Okay, I will have the first things I'm getting done are the vehicles. They will all currently have flight. I have listed in Discord the things that I'm giving to each vehicle. I have already deducted the cost from my current funds. I will deal with getting some recompense or money back from the stuff that either Nigel, his monies or stuff that we will collect. But I'll deal with the cost of it later. Or in other words, compensation for my services later.
Of course. And these are checks you can't fail, I assume?
Huh?
These are checks you can't...
I can't fail anything under a 57, I believe.
Okay, fair enough. Duly noted.
Okay, they're literally the only way I would fail on most crafting is if I have too many spells on that particular item.
Makes sense.
Because each additional spell required is an additional 5d6.
Right.
And currently there is nothing that I can make things all the way up to caster level 20 and still not fail the check. But I would probably send somebody out to try to find 3 sniper rifles at the barracks, and I'm going to be making clips for those.
Okay.
Or a clip, because I did promise one.
I'd do that. Lauren would be happy to raid the armory.
Okay. Does anyone else need something specific? I have 2 additional slots.
Do you have something? Could you make me fly faster so I don't have to learn how to drive one of these ships?
If there's anything you could make to make storing my body easier, that'd actually let me go into shadow.
All right, it would require 2 objects for your body. I would need to
okay.
make a amulet of adaptation and a bag of holding.
Okay.
That's literally the only thing we have. I mean, unless you're going to keep your body in the truck.
That makes sense.
But yeah, money wise, that's more money than I'm willing to take out of my
Well-
own coffers.
I understand that. I'm just curious.
Some ethers or a skill focus, craft alchemy materia so I can try making my own.
Unless Tommy puts up a batch making thing, those are still 8 hours apiece. And I don't really think I'm going to spend 8 hours on 2 items that don't even top you up to max MP.
Yeah, no batches here. No
Oh,
second edition alchemists here.
What about the fly speed thing?
Flight speed thing. The only thing I can give you is permanent haste, but the time mage could give you
Yeah,
24-hour haste.
Yeah, I can give you that anytime. So
I see.
just ask for it. I can give it.
Do I find any sniper rifles in the armory?
Yeah, you find. I will get me some. I'm a generous Tommy. 3 masterwork sniper rifles. They already have and all of the stuff you're finding here has a materia that doesn't count for constant things. It automatically everything has unlimited ammo.
Can I find one of those materia clips for for my assault rifle? Because the assault rifle that Aloran has is sentimental.
And it has unlimited ammo.
Okay.
He's doing that for DM not having to or party not having to track ammo thing.
Yes, there are
So
7
all
of you.
the stuff
That is a
has
nightmare.
unlimited ammo. In that case, the 3 additional slots, instead of making clip, I will be turning them all into +2 sniper rifles with the following additional abilities: a permanent image on the other end, and a audio not hallucination, but auditory illusion that can be triggered when it hits a target.
Oh my god. Yes! If it comes!
So, when you hit somebody with it, a text bubble will appear above their head with whatever you want it to say or whatever image, and a audio clip of whatever you wish to say can appear. So you can shoot someone and say "F you" or whatever, or
Heart sounds.
or one-liners.
Or have a more advanced yet somehow more primitive form of communication. Just fire over a
Actually,
tree next
yes,
to somebody.
because sniper rifle, what do you call it? Its range, that's 600 yards,
600
I believe. 600 feet, whatever.
200
But
yards.
still, you could still do several range increments, and as long as you hit somewhere near where you're trying to say, you can still pass messages that way.
I would like to request something.
Okay.
Could you enchant my armor any higher? Or I'm not certain. The enchantment stuff can wait.
All
till
right,
later.
I could technically empty out my entire money supply here. He said this is a hyperbolic time chamber. So I'm going to assume 24 hours is an hour outside, unless otherwise stated, because that's what happened with the Dragon Ball hyperbolic time chamber.
Hard to say. From your all's perception, Aloran leaves, goes to the armory, comes back, and the amount of time it would take him to travel there and back, roughly-ish, seems to pass for you guys. But for Aloran's perception, when he steps out, the snow that's falling is falling as if it were to have paused when you stop looking at it. And then it starts falling again. The sun is in the same place in the sky, so on and so forth.
The time stops, very much.
It wibbles and it wobbles.
But it don't fall down.
But don't fall down!
I replace the bomba pistol with my masterwork pistol and just slide it in there and be like,
You tell him chaotic good.
chaotic good, people.
All right, yeah. So the sniper rifles are all +2 with those additional abilities. If we wish to make an additional day, I can enchant people's armors. That is up to y'all.
Can you enchant clothing as armor?
Yes, because that is just an enhancement bonus on clothing.
Okay.
Oh, God almighty. That's 2d12 plus 5 for me. Oh, God. Oh, the sniper rifles hurt.
I will give y'all the formula. You can calculate how much money it's going to cost. I currently have 20,000 equivalent gold. We may spend it all, but you owe me money.
Well, actually, how much of an armor bonus would you be able to put on? It's enhancement, not correct?
I could go all the way up to a +5.
All right, because I'm thinking I already have an enhancement bonus. That's why I want to check some other.
Then it's the difference between the two.
Okay.
Put it this way: my crafting is not limited in the same way that other people's crafting is because of some of the things that I have. I can make all the way up to caster level 20th items. So if you can think of it, if we've got enough money, I can make it.
Okay.
The lizard wizard would like some actual armor or some enchanted clothes, period. Because I've got nothing of the sort. I have nothing boosting my armor that's clothes.
Then all I can say is get naked. I'll enchant your clothes.
It wouldn't be the first time one of my characters has gotten naked.
And also, it's warm enough here that the Benga doesn't have to worry about horrible things happening.
I have a question for you. Can you turn existing bonuses back into money, or is that not an ability you have? That's curious.
Yes, but I have to spend 24 hours with the item to be able to turn it into money.
All right, I would be all for you taking an extra day to turn, because I already have a enhancement bonus on my clothes. But
I don't have to do that. I can just enchant on top of it. Upgrading is possible within the rules.
Oh, okay, that's good. So I just didn't know if you had to take it off and turn it back into money first. That's what I was asking.
Okay, so the lizard wizard is going to hand you his superhero costume. Not the headpiece, but he's going to hand you the rest of it, and basically say, "Please enchant this, and I'll just wear this from now on."
Holy mama! Holy mama!
Yeah, Alicia is going to ask if you're able to enchant her clothes, but that she wants to have some privacy, so she wants to use the truck to change. The truck with the big top. There. I'm just not comfortable stripping down. No offense.
I gotta be honest with y'all. I ain't much of a marksman, but damn, if this doesn't put a smile on my face, and I'm just gonna blow off the top of another target. Yes.
Okay.
So what is
Well, how many items am I making? Because that's the deciding how long we're staying in here. I currently have 6, which is 2 days. For every 3, it's an additional day.
Nice. I'm gonna let my stuff wait till we're not in the middle of a story.
Yeah.
Something
I
to
can
boost.
wait too, actually.
Yeah.
I
Craft-
have enough
yeah.
24-hour day buffs that I don't really need extra armor bonus right now. Just would be nice to have. So. Yeah.
We can continue.
I would suggest the armor, if you do not have enchanted armor, actually happen. So I am doing at least one more crafting because the lizard wizard needs armor.
Yeah, I have a +1. That's why. Actually, it's a +2. +2 resistance.
I can't take my armor off until I turn into an aura. So that as long as I'm in here, that won't happen because time's not moving.
No, that's fine. That's never mind. Oh,
Okay.
never mind. I was reading that wrong. Sorry. I actually don't have armor. I was reading that wrong. It's
Okay.
I have an amulet that's giving me a +1 bonus, not my clothes. So.
Okay. In that case, anybody who hands me an article of clothing, it does not matter what it is or where it is. I am going to do a +2
Thank you.
like braces of armor enchantment.
Yeah, that works.
Unless you already have armor. If you already have armor, that's going to be a natural armor enchantment of +2.
I have natural armor, and I have a 24-hour +4 armor bonus from mage armor. So
Okay, then yours would be a dodge.
All right, thanks.
I can do all of them.
All right, good.
Jeez. The Lees.
Could use
So I have one from Bonga.
And one for me. But I demand that I change into truck so I don't have to strip naked.
Whatever.
Yep.
I'm
So-
trying to streamline this because I need to know what I'm doing and how much
Yeah.
money
So
I'm
I can
spending.
cast Mage Armor too. So should I have mine as a dodge bonus?
Yes.
Okay, make it so, please.
kind of item?
It actually would be a deflection bonus, not a dodge bonus.
Yeah.
But yes.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so you got me and the Lizard Wizard. Who else? We're trying to streamline it.
That's 2.
But wouldn't deflection bonus?
Deflection does not stack with anything. Deflection stacks with everything, but you can only have one of them. Dodge bonus stacks with everything, and you can have as many as you want.
Because thing is, I have a ring of protection.
There's a ring of protection, I believe, is natural armor.
It's deflection.
It's deflection.
Oh, it is deflection. Okay, then if you have a ring of deflection, ring of that, I need to make yours natural armor. And magical natural armor is an enhancement bonus, so it stacks with your natural armor
Yeah.
from being a bonga.
I have a ring and a natural armor. But they're both plus 1. So
Okay.
you could probably upgrade those instead of putting it on my outfit.
Yes, I
All
can.
right, that works.
Natural
that
armor would be
I-
fine for me.
Okay, the natural armor bonus is 4,000 times the formula I just told you. The the everything after the 1,000. Do the multiplications, the 0.75, then whatever, all those. It's 4,000 times all those 0.7 somethings. The same will be true for any of the other armor types.
So what
Just
about
figure
what
out-
am I
figure out-
multiplying 0.75 by?
We
I'll
can
do it.
figure this all out later.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
This is
I'll
not
do it.
something we should do during game. This is a between games thing.
Yeah, but we are actually about to be doing things. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, then let's do those things.
It's 505. Okay, everybody 505 times however many.
What is this for? How much do you have to spend?
Yes, that's how much
Alright.
money I'm taking away. So I need to know how many people.
All right, I get if you can upgrade instead of putting a new bonus because I already have a deflection and a natural armor. I have an amulet.
Then-
and
then you're-
natural
then-
armor, and a- Yeah.
Then
Sorry, I didn't mean to complicate it, but bonuses are bonuses. So.
okay. If you already have natural armor, already have deflection, braces of armor. Look up the first one. Tell me how much it is. Let's go on. I'm going to assume it's 2 additional days. That is 6 people,
Seems right to me.
and so we are here 4.
Well, I have an armor bonus too for mage armor, so you probably don't
All right,
have to.
we'll figure it out afterwards. The game's on back
Alright.
in 4 minutes.
Indeed.
Okay.
Especially because we're all about to have a bunch of new stuff and have a bunch of crazy things happen. Okay.
All right, so we'll figure all this out after game. Let's continue with what we're doing now.
I suppose
we
it
have
also
like
is
8
worth
minutes.
noting to say that Jason should
Alright.
probably be consulted at some point. Because there's about to be an infinite amount of downtime, and his gear is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody have anything they want to do in the demi-plane, in Eddard's Dawn itself, etc., in the intervening days?
Sorry, you just cut out for a whole chunk of statement, Tommy.
Do you
Yeah,
have
cut out
anything
for-
else you want to do in the next 4 days in Eddard's Dawn?
Yeah, pretty much.
No. All right. No.
Raid the shop for ethers, which I will pay for later. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, neutral good goes a raiding. Puts on the Viking hat and it doesn't quite fit. Bam! 5 ethers.
Good point.
I'll look for ethers too. With whoever.
Are those ethers regular or X ethers or high ethers or anything?
Regular.
Okay.
And we'll let Alicia. Alicia goes and looks on her own. Whether or not she pays them back is on her. Law of diminishing returns, because don't have too many ethers. 3 more.
Yeah.
So Alicia finds 3, Saul
I also
finds
look
5.
for anything else to pay Tiki back with. Well, I'm gonna because I have 4 days. Tiki's being generous enough to do this for me, so I'm gonna go look for anything else I can use to pay her.
She's gonna.
Pay her back.
Yes, she's robbing Michael to pay me. Whoever Michael is.
That is definitely it would dawn on Alicia that if these people were to come back, you would be just flat stealing from them.
Yeah,
It's-
true.
It's the
Like-
paradox that is Thanos makes the snap and suddenly the property values everywhere go real far down, and then you move into a new house and
Yeah.
5 years later
Yeah,
the
when
owners
it
are pissed.
dawns on me, I just put the stuff back. I'll figure out a way to pay you back later.
To be the
Don't
Baylor on your
spoil
shoulder.
Endgame for me, Tommy.
Oh, hush you! We already had
haven't
Endgame
seen it.
spoilers. 5 years later, everyone's pissed about houses. That's what happens. That's what goes on. That is haha. Anyway, what was I trying to say? To be the Baylor on Alicia's shoulder, you definitely could. Like, there's enough stuff to pay her back tenfold.
Yeah, but she's not going to do that
Okay, fair enough.
because
What
right.
if Put it this way: I could go to the mayor's house and find the rent that I paid and just take it back. But I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
oh, that's the thing, isn't it? Jesus. Oh, God.
Why, yes, it is. Okay, so we've got people hunting for ethers. We've got people doing a craft. Anybody else want to go anywhere, do anything? Have any
Check the
world-
wall outs, see if the teleportation circle is a possibility.
Okay, that's an Arcana check.
Or
I
spellcraft.
assume when I get back, I can aid. Can I aid?
Sure.
Actually,
Yeah.
I really you already made it.
Either one.
19.
Time is wibbly wobbly enough. Yeah, you guys could go grab enough people. That's a 21. That's a 23. Okay. Teleportation, and this is where we're going to end it tonight, I think, actually, for
Yeah.
funsies. Teleportation circle, no. It's definitely not a teleportation circle. But as you guys go moving around the boundaries of the wall, I'm going to say Parallax because it was his idea and it's the most logical sense. As you move around over top of it, one of Parallax's wings goes over the wall and then suddenly it gets somehow colder. And then you pull back and it's fine. You guys all are able to ping this and you see this and sticking head through the same spot. It is the boundaries of the demiplane. And that is where we're going to call it tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more stuff. That's a thing that happened. That's a good cliffhanger. Say bye, y'all.
That's a big. That's
Bye.
Have a spirited day.